with me. Hey! We are family. Come on over to the source and see. Hey! We are family. I got all my supporters with me. Hey! We are family. Forever the source, that's unity.
Aloha, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to The Source. We've got special guests for you today. Keegan Anatole, bringing us the Earth School Fund for Living Villages. What's up, family? How you doing?
Aloha.
Aloha. Oh, I was gonna try out this sound effects thing. Here we go, here we go. Where is it
All
at?
right.
Here we go. Here we go, here we go. That was awesome. That was
A
fun.
brief but very strong applause.
Here comes the one and only Keegan Anatole. Drum roll, please. All right, a gong too. You get a gong. You get a gong. Oh, all righty.
I appreciate the
So
game.
you're very welcome. So it's good to see you. How have you been doing these days?
I'm doing well. I mean, despite being at the end of my financial rope after being exceedingly irresponsible over
Okay.
the last year. Uh, but it's a brand new, it's like the end of a cycle. And it always works out that way, right? Like
Yeah.
I always
Right.
like in the past, I've run out of money on my travels many times, but it's always perfectly working out for the next thing. And
It's
it's happening now.
understandable. I mean, it's impressive to me. I've known you for so long, and you've been since you were what, your teenage years, you've been traveling the world and getting involved in these amazing projects and meeting amazing people, and you've got so many stories to tell. And of course, money, if you're not earning while you're out there doing all this, then it's gonna run dry, and then you gotta refill again, and then get back out there and do it again, I guess. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So
Or the solution that you have today, or these funds could be the big ticket, so we can all do our purpose and not have to worry about the money, you know.
I'm very optimistic. Like based on what I've seen, I think it's very exciting.
Yes.
And I'd love to introduce that.
Oh, awesome.
And by way of
Welcome.
doing that, I'd like to ask you, Mr. President, do you know about the human design?
I know enough. I don't know all of it. I think everybody in our community should learn about human design. I want to welcome in first. Amaya is here. Welcome in. She just got out of her surgery today. I guess they were doing some kidney like laser thing to break up the kidney stones or whatnot. So
Oh,
hopefully that went really well. So welcome in, Amaya. All
blessings.
right. Yeah, blessings. Yeah,
Yeah,
do you want to tell us a little bit about the human design? What does it take to kind of present this Earth School Fund? Like, what is the little background that we need, a little bit of information that so we really know what we're getting to here?
sure, sure. Well, that's what I was trying to lead it into because when I got the human design reading, they told me, "Oh, you're a generator, and your strategy in life is to wait and respond to the opportunity when it comes to you."
Me too.
Um,
Me too.
so
Yeah.
and that's something I learned a lot from my energy healing teacher. I'm sitting here in my little nook. I'm sitting on my massage table actually, and I have this little nook, and you know it's a nice little interview spot too. I just
Yeah.
improvised.
I
Um,
like it.
but my teacher Christoph Melchizedek in the energy healing uh, sphere, he always teaches about not forcing your life, not bringing like a forcing current to try to like
Mm,
make the outcome that you're wanting to happen like happen. You
yeah.
just like trust, relax, let life partner and dance with you because it's gonna come. Like when you express your desire and you're clear about what it is, and you trust, and you're just a participant, then it's like I said, like I'm saying about human design, it's like I my strategy is just to wait for this opportunity, and that's what happened with the Earth School Fund.
Yeah.
I heard somehow, I'm subscribed to all these different email lists, as I'm sure many of us are, and one of them I got connected to this new platform. It's called Artisan.
Okay.
It's like citizen, but art instead of city. So Artisan. It's well. So if we break down the word citizen, it's a servant of the city. Um, in that etymological context, the citizen is a servant of the city, and so artisan is a servant of art. And that's the web address. Thank you, Mr. President. He's bringing us straight to the source of the Artisan Fund. And so I was on the email list of this new platform that's all about realizing our dreams. It's about human creativity being funded, and finding a way for us to actually play together and all fund each other's dreams and aspirations, like as a global community. Uh, so it's kind of, there's all this fun kind of incentivization that happens. It's a gamified system of fundraising for us to use. And with that, I got the email one day recently that said, we're looking for more people who like to build community, which is what I like to do. And so we're looking for people who will curate funds. We'll be the fund director for these new, our new decentralized institution of bringing financial abundance to all of our dreams and aspirations. When we have the wherewithal, and when we have the clarity and the ability to communicate what it is we're looking to build, and then anything is possible.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for me 2012, so it's like 14 years we've been focused on bringing in this better world, and we've been talking about creating funds and whole new infrastructures and new economies, new currencies, and new communities and projects, bringing a better world. And so yeah, I'm excited that I'm seeing more in my reality. I've been more mainstream for the past 8-9 years here in Maui, Hawaii, just living local, just working in local produce. And recently got this YouTube channel going these past 2 years, and it's working. And there's also this new world that's been building outside of my peripheral. I haven't been looking at it. So some of that's starting to show up in my field again, where, maybe I can merge my YouTube with that new world creation a little bit and start to put some things out there too. So I'm excited about the progresses. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
here's the website. I pulled up, you can't really see it that well, but artisan.fund. That's the homepage. It's got like different funding breakthroughs in human creativity, and it's got like match funding. It looks kind of like a GoFundMe kind of when you get there. And it's interactive. I'm scrolling down. They got like a leaderboard of different funds, like Funding the Commons Frontier Fund, House of Us Fund for queer creators. So that's their own specific community there. Creative Republic Fund for Ghanaian, like Ghana creatives. So really specific funds, specific group, specific solution, raising money. You probably know more about the ins and outs of the website. I haven't really got that deep into it yet, but
Sure.
yeah.
I mean, I'd love to share like just a little basic introduction of how it works, if you want. It's kind of like we're incentivized by this match funding, as anybody can go on there and either create a project, or I don't know if anybody can create a fund, but anyway, I was able to create a fund. So if I can do it, maybe you can do it. If that's something that you're interested in, or if you're just a creative and you have a dream, you can go and make a profile for it. And then you can go and apply to all the different funds that would relate, So the fund that I'm directing now is the Earth School Fund for Living Villages. And, this comes from my journey of being involved with the networks like Woof and Workaway and HelpX, which is how I find accommodation generally. Like, I've made a career of trading work for accommodation, and it's always about the learning journey. And so if you can see I have my YouTube channel, it's Learning Adventures Worldwide.
This past week I've been mentioning Woof and Workaway and HelpX, and also Foundation for Intentional Communities Global Eco Village Network in New Mundo. I've been mentioning them this past week a few times in a few live streams. So I think it's the readiness is coming along here.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna be fundos for the mundo, Mr. President.
there you go. Yeah, nice.
But like my desire, I wanted to, I'll just mention, like, with what I wanted to see is like, because it's always a different experience with all these different like volunteer gigs of like work trade, I'm
Right,
and often I don't quite know how it's going to be until I go and immerse into the experience.
right.
So the idea with the Earth School Fund for Living Villages, from the way that I'm perceiving it, and it's a collective creation, so it's going to grow and morph, but is to kind of bring a greater level of communication and forethought to these learning exchanges that happen when people have an eco project, and they have an
Hmm.
organic farm, and they have some places for people to stay at that farm. Then
Yeah,
what I want to facilitate is not have it just be anybody that's either going to come and like abuse the relationship of being on that land,
right,
and also vice versa, that they're not going to be abused right, when they go uh, or have their labor be extracted without a good reciprocal relationship. um,
right.
it can happen, but
Yeah,
generally people are generally pretty loving when you get right down to it, and especially
right.
people into the world of eco projects and producing the food that we eat in an organic
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I
um,
mean, there's a matching process. I want to welcome in D-Lo Flow Show in the building. Welcome in. Uh, but yeah, there's a matching process on these websites like the HelpX, the Workaways, the Woofer websites and such, where you're looking at their eco village or their work trade opportunity, and they have a description and they have kind of like what they want out of you and what they're looking for, and then you have a profile on the website. So then you can maybe apply to them, or they might contact you. And then there's that matching process, but you don't really know until you get there how it's really going to all pan out. But at least you have that free will that if it's not working, you can confront the situation. And then if it still is not working, you can move on. But it's very tricky if you flew around the world to another country, you landed and you thought you had your accommodations, your food, everything taken care of, and you're going to stay in this village and do a specific work, and then it's just not in alignment, and then all of a sudden your whole plan is thrown up. I'm sure you have tens, hundreds of these experiences where it just hasn't gone that great, and then this maybe you can funding could you've got certain guidelines built into your fund that kind of can hold a bar a little higher, and you can compensate certain projects that are in alignment and encourage and incentivize, better and better,
Yeah, that's the idea. And, I do have lots of stories, and this is the lifestyle that I choose. This is a great adventure. And
Love
I
it.
want to just put this out to anybody watching that, like, we are here to live a great adventure. Like, and the opportunity is available. This is a beautiful world that we live
I love
in.
it.
And if there's no need necessarily to get stuck in a cycle that you feel like you can't get out of. Well, you can get out of
Yeah,
it. There's
right,
all kinds of ways that we can live and find our way in the world.
right,
And so,
right.
but,
Welcome,
like,
welcome in Nana of Five. Welcome in. She says, "Hey Keegan, welcome in Nana of Five." Yeah,
although,
I've been talking a lot about what you're saying right now, like the certain level of stuckness. Like I've got the Dream Life Collective, and I'm beginning to paint the picture of ways that we could be stuck, and then different potential tracks of freeing ourselves, breaking out of comfort zones, and the life that we can live if we let go and get into that flow. If we're putting our manifestation, our intention forward, and our visioning forward, and our energy and our thoughts forward to what we wish to see in the world, and then a lot of times the universe will provide these opportunities for you to step out there and into this life, this new life, and let go of, what's holding us back. And But I personally, I may jump back out there in like 6 or 7 months. I might jump back out there. I'm watching what people like you do. I want to get out there and meet fellow content creators as I travel America, I travel up into Canada, and then I want to start going global with it. And I want to get better at monetizing my journey so that I can do that more abundantly. That's what the 6, 7 month process is so I don't run out of funds out there on the road. But I want to do a lot of what you're doing too. I would like to visit eco villages. I'd like to go to festivals and events and just kind of flow and be guided and then turn my camera on everywhere I go and just share, these different, everything. So, you know,
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely learn from you in the sense of, planning a bit more ahead of time, having that financial preparedness kind of piece. But and so the Earth School is, I'm a student. I'm the director of the Earth School Fund now. And by the way,
yeah.
I'm looking for 1 or 2 people that would curate these projects with me. Just
Mm,
putting it out there too. Um, but like I was saying, like it I've made a career out of it, but it's
right.
it's not like I'm generally earning money. I'm learning and I'm earning accommodation at these
Right.
projects generally. And
True.
sometimes there's opportunities that are connected that are out there in
Yes.
the community that can also generate some financial abundance.
Yeah.
But now we have a fund that's for that. And
Yes.
there's this one platform that was World Packers, and they have
Oh,
like an
another one.
insurance in case you go and you want to have one of these learning adventures and it doesn't work out. They have like an insurance to help you get to your next step.
Mm,
But going beyond that, beyond just having insurance, that we can fund our adventures full stop, or full
yeah.
go, and not only on both sides of the exchange. We at the Earth School Fund, it's like we can fund the eco projects that are willing to host people that have these collaborative learning experiences. And you can also, as somebody that wants to go and find a place like that and pursue a certain project, you can make a project profile for what you want to create, and reach out to me. I can help you find that actual project.
Right.
Within
Yeah.
our network, our global network,
Exactly.
you can find what your heart desires.
See, that's where there's gonna be ways to set you up better too, as I'm getting more and more clarity on certain tracks. Like I'm looking at like becoming a coach, a consultant, having one-on-ones, but I'm getting really clear with the specific offer that I have and the specific audience that is seeking out that offer. And then I could step into that where I'm doing these coaching calls and getting paid for that. And there's also course. You can offer a course, have curriculum. You can do like a school community where you have like-minded people in your school community with a specific interest for that school community, what the value that you're offering in there. People can pay a small amount or larger amount to be in that community to gain all that value from you and then have access to your one-on-one calls as well. And if you have a curriculum, certain, course that you can put in there, there's more value there too. Because you've got a lot of this you've accumulated over all these years, and so I'm learning a lot of that. And I want to welcome in Graciela Gracie G in the building as well, and Kyle Vlog Channel in the house. Welcome. Jerry G is here. Welcome, welcome. Welcome everybody. Timmy Does Everything is here. Welcome everybody. Yes, artisan.fund. That's the website that this Earth School Fund for Living Villages that Keegan Anatole is the steward of this fund. So go ahead, Keegan.
Yeah, Mr. President, you've been putting in a lot of time, effort, refinement, building and growing your channel here, making it really beautiful, and like cultivating the community, supporting other people. And I'm really grateful to be a part of that, and just to know
Yeah,
you and to be connected with all your
absolutely.
amazing creators that you're inspiring
And they're
and
all around the world. I'll try to say, like, Kyle is in Florida. Like, he and his family are going on RV adventures, and they do cruises too, so they share that whole reality. Jerry G is in New Orleans area, and Graciela, where is it? Australia, Graciela, I think Australia. We've got Nana of 5. I don't remember where she's at. You let us know in the chat where you're from. Dilo, Flo, and Amaya. I don't remember where she's from. A couple people having a couple health things. I know you've got an interest in health as well. People coming in and out of surgeries and such. Graciela and Amaya both have been having that going on. Yeah, Doran for president. Keegan, look.
Doran, Doran is the president.
I am. I'm Mr. President. I am. Nana of 5 is in Minnesota. Okay, so all over the place.
And so are you, right? You
And
are the
so are
president.
you.
You're the
I'm
president
another
of your
you.
life.
I'm another you. I'm another you. I'm a mirror. I'm
That's
miraculous.
why. Just a little backstory in case anybody
Yeah.
doesn't know. Like I always call Doran Mr. President because he had on his. I don't know if you still have it up on your Facebook. He says, "I am the president, and so are you," and
Yes.
and that's the truth of the matter, you guys. We are the executive
Right.
creators of our lives. So we hold the power to make the choice for ourselves,
Exactly.
and just remember that. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be persuaded otherwise, because you're the one with
Right.
the power to choose.
Exactly. Yeah. Creator, a part of the great creator, each of us individuations of the great creator. But that's why, like, everything written in like the Bible or various texts from various prophets or whatnot, bringing through different messages, similar, mostly the same message, encourages us to create with our word, and to focus on that which is good, and take right action. And there's, so yeah.
I know we're very excited. We're very excitable, and hopefully we're very exciting to watch and interact with here. But how long do you have today, Mr. President?
We're good right now, at work, about the local produce game. The refrigeration, the large investment has gone down a few times over the past few weeks now. So I've had, I think this is my third Monday off. My third Monday off. It's just the universe is doing something. But the refrigeration guy might get there at any point. But I wouldn't work for another 2 more. I wouldn't start work for another 2 more hours anyways. So I'm doing nothing today. And, if anything, 2 hours from now, I'll go into work. But it doesn't look like it's happening today. So,
Okay. So you're kind of in the flow.
yeah, I'm in the flow today.
I was worried you were gonna say if the freezer stop or if the fridge stops, I'm gonna have to go keep all the produce cool with my energy.
No, keep our boss, the boss, and the workers there. They have certain skill sets, and that's not my area of expertise. They can micromanage, oversee the warehouse and the refrigeration, and make sure somebody can get in there and work on it. But the guy's on an airplane right now, so he's not actually able to get there and work on the refrigeration like immediately. So I probably won't be going into work today. So.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that case, I was just wondering, maybe like if you mention a couple of people in your community that are dealing with health issues, getting out of surgery, and I'm sitting here I'm sitting on my healing table in my little healing nook. And if you're open to it, I'd love to just kind of drop into a more kind of a theta brainwave together for a minute, and we could send our good intentions to all those people for their healing, and for our beautiful earth, and for our worldwide community, that everyone's life be uplifted. Have a little prayerful time. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we can kind of just flow with that together if you want to, speak something into that. And I'll just invite everyone, who's watching, whether you're live or you're watching the recording, to just take a few moments now to just feel what it's like to be in your body, and to notice like the breath, and what a gift that is, right? To be alive and to be nourished by this breath that's all around us, this wonderful air. That we're in symbiotic relationship with the plants, and recognizing that and giving thanks for the plants to supply the air that we need to breathe, and feeling our connection to those plants, to all the trees everywhere throughout the world, and the roots going down into the soil, all the minerals, the elemental beings, the fairy the gnomes that live in our gardens and around the forests of the world, and the dragons and the angels up in the sky, and that also fly on that breath. Let's just breathe into all this wonderful supportive energy, life affirming energy. This is a blessed earth. This is a miracle realm. And we are all a part of creating those miracles each and every day. So giving thanks for our togetherness, our unity, our bliss, our connectivity. You know, the wind spirits, the fire spirits, the deep earth, and the waters of life. The waters in the kidneys of that one that you mentioned who had the
Amaya.
Amaya with the kidneys. May they be healed, and may you be healthy, whole, you know, and just at peace. And anyone that you may also want to mention, or each of you tuning.
Graciela. I mean, anybody can mention in the chat anything you're going through health wise. I'm clearing out my sinuses right now.
Yeah, just some clarity, some good flow of energy, good flow of good energy flowing through us, through all of us.
Digestion. I know that's something, I'm all, got to keep moving that stuff through, moving it through.
So may we be blessed with the remembrance of our ability, of our power to radiate these good intentions. And like I said, remember that our intentions are impactful in every moment.
No, Graciela's got something with the spine, and she's got it's not a crutch, a little walker. One, she's got a couple tools there. She wants to get up and dance every day, but then these medical appointments and surgeries and such, telling her you got to calm that down a little bit. So yeah. But she was out in Australia there, walking up and down the streets, and she's been dancing a lot lately, which is really a joy to see. And Amaya is also a joy, but she's been having back pain and the kidney, being the area, and it's been like a month probably since they did one surgery weeks back, and they just did another one. So yeah, Amaya's been going through it, a lot of pain there too. So.
Yeah. And I would like to mention also to those who have passed on, including your beloved Deb, our beloved Deb, that she's still here with us in spirit, and sending her peace and just gratitude for her earth walk, and so much love.
There she is, Graciela on the screen there.
Wow, yeah. Trusting through all the journey. And we're sending you supportive energy, confidence, and trust, power for the walk forward. So thanks for everyone for.
We've got another one here. 905.
And here's to the wellness. I'm gonna have some hydration here.
Yeah, even just the breathing exercises, even just the energy and calling in support, from the universe and all that is, to join us in this journey, this healing, growth, transformation. Which I look at everything as growth and transformation, and healing is just the process to the becoming, to the transformation. if we're meant to have a purpose in this world, in this life, I believe, we've got to shed our old skins and become anew. Um, I've been on a journey of late, going to the local church. I didn't expect that, but hey, it's been a really powerful part of my healing journey and grieving journey, and my becoming journey. So, it's fascinating. So, welcome in, Sedatra Spalding. Nana5 says, I'm getting an epidural lumbar injection on the 28th. Prayers for you. Prayers for you. My goodness.
I can't. So yeah, thank you everyone for just dropping in like that with us, and thank you, Mr. President, for having the stage for us to gather on, to circle the virtual space for us to connect across time and space. Absolutely, we're all connected, and the earth has healed me. I always took to connect to many places in Australia: mountains, forests, beaches. Yeah.
Slow down, new plan. This past week, I cannot keep going at the pace I was going. I'm slowing down. I'm resting. I'm taking naps by each day. Simple, slowing it down, cooking on the daily. Like, I'm still doing content creation, but it's kind of pacing me out a little bit better right now. So
that's the way to go.
so
And
you.
as you know, Mr. President, I like to kind of break down the words and the codes that we use, and I came up with an acronym for the word prayer, which is practice rigorously attuning yourself. Oh, not prayer, but just pray. So I'd just like to put that out there for you guys to remember also. Prayer is something that we can do to express, right? And so you can come in many forms. Communication comes in many forms, and most of the communication that we do is not verbal communication, right? We're communicating with our bodies and on the psychic level, which is always going. Actually, well, I won't go into that, but it's something I was recently reading. But
very right, though. So right. I mentioned yesterday in the live stream, there's been some of our YouTubers that have been battling with other YouTubers. I mean, so I had to really drop in and share something on my heart yesterday, about that, because it's a witchcraft. We're all creators, and what world are you creating? And if you're fighting with the other, quote unquote, then you're ultimately fighting with yourself. And if you're in those negative, low vibratory, dense, dark energies, and you're doing that dark work, then it's going to show up in your body in certain ways and ailments and such. And so it's a good reminder. Yeah. Poetic Tears, welcome in. Beautiful. Poetic Tears is an awesome creator. She brings us art, she brings us poetry, she brings us music, so much blessings. She's a definitely spiritual power, beautiful musician, singer of praise. Got a great channel on here as well, Miss Poetic Tears.
Yeah,
awesome.
Poetry is an amazing prayer, and it can also be just an amazing way to observe, right? To kind of step aside and look at things through a different lens, more the imaginative lens or the archetypal lens. But just to pick up on the thread of what I'm saying about prayer, practice rigorously attuning yourself. Prayer is like, whether you do that as a physical expression, which I like to do, I do dancing or kung fu. And actually, what I have a project on this artisan platform for a movement center I'd like to create. It's you can find it on there. It's a bioarchitectural center for the movement arts in Antalya, in Turkey, in the south of Turkey. And that will be a pilot project for a greater vision that I have of doing the youthing universal movement. That's what I call it.
Oh,
So
nice.
becoming younger by doing the thing, which is you, right? The you thing is a double
Yeah.
meaning. It's like
Yeah.
do the you thing and it keeps you young.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Yeah. And that might be ultimately my focus here on YouTube. It's like everyone says, everyone should get on YouTube, whether you're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It might be a youthing process of just getting into yourself and expressing, having a hobby and interest that is wrapped around just you being you, sharing your stories, your wisdom, your experiences. Imagine, older people on YouTube just start dancing, just start moving, just do yoga, just do music, all the things, all these different things, poetry, journaling, whatever. Youthing can definitely be a very cool thing with YouTube here too. Graciela says communication comes in many forms. Absolutely. I've studied disability and worked with many people that were nonverbal. We learned to accept all humans and help them communicate their needs. Yeah, yeah,
Amazing. I
yeah.
like that
Amazing. Yes.
Gracia with the triple G. I like that G G
Yeah.
G coming through.
GGG. Love it. Sadatra dropping gems on me. Thank you so much on the channel. And Miss Poetic dropping the gems. Thank you so much. Pity Love, welcome in. Graciela says, "Oh yes, dance. You got to check out Graciela's dancing on her shorts. It's really fun. Yeah,
Sounds
great.
awesome. Sounds awesome.
So go ahead, go ahead.
Just to kind of finish off that thought about prayer and like if you can think of pray as an
Yeah,
activity that you practice rigorously attuning yourself. There may, like I was
right,
saying, there are many ways to do that.
right.
You could be doing it through by writing, and just like attuning to the ideas that are coming through you,
Yeah,
or you're speaking it out, having a conversation with somebody. You can have a conversation that's a prayer, like this one. you
or
know,
dance, or
our
dance.
whole
Yeah.
our whole life is a prayer, right? Yeah.
Everything, yeah. Whole life is a prayer. I love it. I love it. It's interesting because going to the church these past 4 months, I guess is no, how long has it been? 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. I tell them, I'm like, I don't know what prayer is. I never prayed in my life. I've seen people do it on TV and in movies and stuff, but I don't do it. Like I've never done it. So,
You do
but then
you do that. I call forth the whole Spirit into my being. That's a great prayer.
I scare them though. You should hear these conversations. When I say words like portal or when I say words like invocation or if I say words like decrees, I scare the heck out of the church.
They don't. No one has a problem with the word vocation, but then if
Vocation.
you put
Right.
it in right in front of it, suddenly is
Yeah,
different.
yeah. Because it's all demons, devil, it's all everything like metaphysical, either witchcraftery, everything pagan, all these things are everything's outside. Astrology, it's all outside of their system. So it's interesting.
Hmm.
I bring something unique to the church.
Hmm.
And I'm just in there blessing and I'm just in there calling in the Holy Spirit. I'm just in there
Are you talking
intending
about the big church? Like, or which
the
church do you
big
go to?
church, King's Cathedral, the big church in Kahului. Yeah, I'm like calling in energy, spirit, come in, enter into all of these beautiful beings and help them to heal, help them to step into their mission. And there's a huge expansion going. They have a vision to grow the church to 2,300 congregations and to reach quarter of a million disciples in the near future. So I'm like, okay, I'm here. That's why I'm here is to just do my energy thing here and be me and expand them out of a few of these little boxes that might keep it constrained and because I believe there's I don't know for sure, but I believe in all the spirits. I love Jesus. I 100% love Jesus, but I also believe in all the elements, all nature, all the kingdoms of energy, of beings, of creation, of all, there's everything. There's so much more to source energy, in my opinion. I know God, Jesus, the sun to the earth, beautiful, awesome story. Love it, 100% all in. And I've been out here and experienced a lot more. And I want to bring some of that in and see if I can expand people out of their boxes just enough to grow the church, to grow it to a whole human species living in a certain way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's interesting. This morning I was writing, I became a student in the Gaia University, which is very
mm,
much in alignment with this Earth School Fund that I've just
yeah,
began.
yep, yeah,
Um, and it's a global university where we're exploring the regenerative culture and like how we can be more strategic and like kind of with an academic rigor to the things that we do, experiments in our gardens, or building things
yeah,
that like make us feel more healthy in our bodies, that protect us from the electromagnetic frequencies and things like that. So but anyway, I was writing a review,
mm-hmm,
like of past experiences. There's a program now in Gaia University that's a prior learning assessment where I can
mm,
actually get academic credit for just all these random amazing learning adventures that I've been on. And so the one that I was writing about today was specifically the theme I was writing on is my journey with the healing arts.
yeah,
And I went to a massage school in California in 2014, which I think is maybe the same year that we met, maybe, um, or so,
yeah,
maybe right,
about around there.
or 2 years earlier, actually, I think it was. I didn't meet till 2016, but um,
Yeah,
anyway, what I was marveling at how unique, like I had all these opportunities to do massage on with
mm-hmm,
all the students in the school. We would just practice on each other and then
right,
expanding out, bring that forward to other people. And I was just noticing like how everybody is so unique, and
mm,
it's the same thing with our perspectives in
right,
life, and how we relate with our spirituality, what our spiritual experience is, like the way that we
right,
communicate with the all that is, with the God, with the divine, with the beautiful Mother Earth, and with this miracle realm that is actually a divine realm, right? The divine
yeah,
is two vines, right? Die means two, and vine,
mm-hmm,
it's divine. So the vines are your ancestry that we grow through,
mm,
the mother's line and the father's line.
right,
It's one way to think about the divine. Um,
mm,
but like I was saying, everyone has a unique way that they experience that, and it's important that we be um, cognizant of allowing them to have that and not try to force our ideology onto somebody else, right?
yeah,
Uh,
right, for sure,
so beyond just being tolerant, like tolerance is what we need, and
yeah,
also we need curiosity, beyond that, to be curious. Oh, like, oh, you don't see it the same way I do, like you don't have the same belief
right.
systems, which is BS. Belief system,
Belief
that's
system,
okay.
yep,
Belief systems.
yep, yep,
But we all have different ones, like they're slightly different. Some of them are very much like channeled into the same kind of belief systems, but everyone's going to have a nuanced perception, and that's the beautiful thing, and that's actually what gives us stability and sanity, is the fact that we all have a unique perspective. And we don't if we all saw things the same way, we wouldn't be able to adapt and survive.
right. Yeah, very true. Very true. So yeah, you've been living like this since how old were you and where have you traveled around the world? And tell us about some of your experiences. And this is just so unique. Like I feel like you're like some sort of like the child of the earth, the new earth, like, already living it, but like you're like 10 years ahead of people and that, but they can choose this life. Like I've done it a little bit. I've lived in a van. I traveled across America. I got to California. I went up and down the coast and went to eco villages, did permaculture, work traded in different places on my journey, and done a bus tour, going up and down the coast, West Coast, and coming over to Maui. I followed you over to Maui and I jumped into work trade on the land in Maui at the spot you started at over here. So you've just got such a unique experience, life experience, and you bring a lens of so much like you could educate into a new, you don't have to educate in the world the way it is, because ultimately everything's falling, the world we live in. AI is looking to be a dominant force that's creating this like over here world, and then there's going to be an over here world where the conscious, awake, aware, peaceful, amazing beings are creating new systems, new economies, new currencies, new funds, projects, everything anew. We could utilize technology in the new, but ultimately that world over there, it's like, yeah. So
Welcome to the new age. To the
welcome to
new
the new.
age.
That's right. Welcome
So,
to the
do
new
you,
age.
Mr. President, do you believe that this is it, the apocalypse?
Haha, yeah, which is the word, the definition of apocalypse. You probably know
I
it pretty
mean,
well.
it's split open and reveal.
Greek, it's like about transformation, right?
Right. It's just it's a revelation. That's why the book in the Bible about the apocalypse is called Revelations.
Yeah.
It's just simply a revealing of things that we didn't see before, like AI. You know,
Right.
we've had AI. You know, AI
Right.
has been a part of the equation for a long time already.
Right.
Um,
For
and
sure.
in the sense that people understand it generally, with working with the computers and the software, uh, our governments have had access to technology that we are now just becoming aware of, but it has been
Right.
at but also in a more expanded sense of what like to me, artificial intelligence isn't just about this computer program that can answer any question. Uh,
Right.
it's actually a source of intelligence which is based on artifice. So it's a man-made or it's a contrived something that's secondary, that's come through us and also other beings, various other beings. We live in a universe with many different creatures. Like humans aren't the only form of intelligent life that
Right.
has the capacity to create something like artificial intelligence. Um, so it's been at play, and it's now being brought forward like many other things. Things that were secret before are now becoming revealed, and we
Yeah.
can become more aware about them, and we can actually use them to our advantage. All the occult, right? The occult science.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
Occult means hidden. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it used to be for many thousands of years that the initiatic rites of coming into higher consciousness, of expressing creatorhood, using alchemy and magic, all these things were only preserved through a secretive lineage. You had to be
Yeah.
initiated into them. But
Right.
now we as a collective are being initiated into them. The occult is now being brought forward where it's available. You can go on YouTube and
Mm.
see all the teachings about
Everything.
the Hermetic
That's why
principles.
they talk about artificial general intelligence is the thing that people are starting to get that clear kind of understanding that information is going to be everywhere, always, in all things, so everyone can gain and have access to any information here as we go forward. So there's some concerns around that, and then robotics. So people that think that they can just go to college and get a job in this next couple of years, it's going to be a big awakening, a rude awakening. That's where we really got to get clear with the new earth that we're here to create, and the villages and the tribes coming together with like-minded individuals. And, whether you're together physically or through the internet and through technology, you got to start where you're at. Wherever you're at, you got to be able to start finding the others and get into like, what's your value? What can you create? What can you bring into the world? And how can you, sustain yourself in a world where our money might last for so long? We'll see how that goes. As the old world is essentially trying to squeeze out the people out of, through the old means of you work a job, you make money, you get a pension, all those sorts of things. It's going to squeeze a lot of those people that are mainstream. And then there's going to be over here a lot of people coming together and creating these new projects and these new villages and communities, and building businesses around, like, a lot of it's gonna be more local, and more like hands-on. Like I saw that one guy has a bicycle shop. He's hedging for the future, with his own bike business. He's got a specific mind that he can, and skill set where he can fix bikes and make them good again, and you know, and he'll have a space in the new, because the robots will be able to figure out exactly how he does it. I don't know. But then, so just local business and, you know, local villages will become a thing again. People will want to live in close proximity, and each person's going to want to provide what they provide, so that there's value, so that everyone's accepted in that community, and the community thrives, and then abundances continue to grow and prosper. You know, you got to find the others in a world where, if you're alone in a world where, jobs go away, businesses start to fail, because the economics go down because of, certain controllers doing things with AI and robotics and all that sort of stuff. If you're alone, it could look very scary, and then you're just like, I don't have any money, I don't have a place to live, and what do I do now? You know, and that's where a lot of these tracks, like we're presenting, you know, these eco village communities that are already existing and thriving, these festivals and events where conscious people are coming together and putting their minds together and sharing their gifts together, and, healing each other, and, all these conscious projects that are happening on the outskirts of our peripheral, begin to become the new mainstream for everybody to kind of like shift into something that can make it in the new here. So, yeah.
Yeah. Friends, don't worry.
Right.
But when you have an inspiration to act, you know, follow that and don't ignore
Yeah.
it. Right?
Right.
Move forward as the spirit moves you forward, and
Sure.
don't ignore it. Your body knows. Your body knows what to do, where to be, how to protect you. So just be in your body. You know, connect with the intelligence of the earth, which is our bodies are made of the earth, and we are so connected on that level. The problem is we
Cheers.
get who's misty-eyed crystals.
That's Misty. That's Misty. Misty. That's Misty from, you know.
Aloha, Misty.
Yeah.
We were
So,
all together.
yeah, we were all together. That's right. You know Misty. Yep, from Washington State. You know, got a crystal shop up there. She's doing good up there. So,
Great. She's got
yep.
a wrench. I'm not sure what that means. She's got a wrench. She's ready. She's
I give the wrenches out to people once I get to know them and trust them enough. I give them the blue jacket wrench thing. So, yeah,
accolade.
welcome
Yeah.
in.
Well, I would love to hear from people like what kind of accolades they would like to earn. I mean, I've just come and created this Earth School, and so I can offer rewards to people as incentive, for participating with that. As I I do healing here. I'm happy to offer that. And we're going to be bringing forward all kinds of accolades that you can get, to increase your prestige, like these wrenches and the chickens, right? You have the chickens, right?
Yeah, welcome, broken bountifully blessed Carol in the building. Welcome. Yeah, Misty said, I remember, Keegan the vegan. We may have connected at Circle of Children. Yeah, definitely there, right? Yep.
It used to be Keegan the vegan. Now I'm a Keegan the pescatarian.
Okay. All right. That
Doesn't
works.
rhyme, but I do like that kind of ocean living energy.
Cool. Very cool. Nice. Yeah. So,
Great to hear from you,
yeah,
Mr.
wherever we want to go with this, stream, should we see if Misty wants to come up and we talk some old times?
Oh, you have the
uh,
power, Mr. President. You can bring us
yeah,
all
if Misty wants to come up here, I'll drop the link in the chat. A lot of times our streams get, oh, Tracy's here. Tracy's Local Learnings. Welcome in. Um, you know, if there's someone here that wants to talk these subjects, this specific kind of theme that we're talking about, which is, kind of creating the new, world a little bit, like, finding the others, like-minded individuals, getting on the land. Tracy's Local Learnings is in Canada, and she grows
and,
everything. She grows
and
everything.
channeling the abundance, right? channeling.
Tracy grows all the medicinals. She taps the trees for water. There's animals there. She's growing everything. Super great. She makes things too. Great example. But yeah, if anybody's in alignment with
Tracy,
what we're
I'd like to
saying,
invite you to bring local learnings to the Earth School.
there you go.
Would love to have you. You can just go on the Artisan platform, make a profile, and then go and apply for funding and play the game of abundance with us.
Yeah,
We'd love
sounds
to
good.
be able to share your local learning. So that's part of the, I didn't get into that aspect of what are the eligibility requirements for the Earth School. And like
Right.
I mentioned my career of working with work exchange and how I want to elevate that to another level in which it's more intentional, because we do have an amazing, tremendous power with our intentions. As they say, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so it can do that with a very conscious and detailed expression of like, what are the projects that we want to see? Like right here, I'm at an eco village in Southern Colorado. That's where I'm now. And it's it's near Colorado Springs. And I just saw on a Facebook group, the Intentional Community group, one of them, Intentional Community and Eco Villages, that they are building this underground greenhouse. Actually, they got a couple of them. They're going to build 6.
Good idea.
It's harsh elements here. It's windy, it's sunny, there's snow in winter, and you can grow plants inside. It's called a wallapini.
Wow,
And
great
so
idea.
that's one local learning. And that's why I was attracted to come here and to be a part of that, learn how it works, because it also has these like tubes that go into the earth that are they have cool air that grow, so they keep it cool when it's hot out, and then also it can be used to heat it.
Misty's ready. Misty is ready to come up on the stage. Misty Eye Crystals out of the state of Washington. She's got a crystal shop. Keegan, myself, Misty, we met each other along our journey at different eco villages and festivals. So let's bring her up. Misty Eye Crystals.
Oh my God.
Hi, Misty.
How you guys doing?
Hey there.
Good. How are you?
We're talking eco village and permaculture and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we
My
got
favorite stuff.
Earth School Fund for Living Villages.
Yeah, Keegan's got a fund that he is stewarding on this artisan.fund platform called Earth School Fund for Living Villages.
Nice. Very nice.
It's true. How are you, Misty? Where are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here. Here in the crystal shop in the very slow mall. Let's turn it around and say,
Oh, you got elemental beings all around you. Polished ones. Shiny.
Oh, yeah.
There's some citrine in there.
Nice.
I got citrine in my earrings. And so where are you?
Sure.
What place?
I'm at Northtown Mall in Spokane, Washington.
Oh.
Yeah, we have like pianos. I have a couple pianos here, some music, guitars and whatnot for the kids to play, and share crystals and art, local stuff. I definitely host people, try to teach them how to make something, or if they want to explore their skill and bring it to the public for sale potentially. But ideally, I'm hoping that it can be something that can be utilized within an intentional community. Maybe one that we create or one that we join as a place to share the things people are making, etc., from the community, and information too about permaculture, agriculture. So right now I am actually looking around at intentional communities and permaculture stuff within our area. There's an event coming up, I think this next week, like a worker class. I'm not sure if I can make it, but I think there's something else coming up like that they do every year. So
Great.
yeah, that's kind of where we're at, and a lot of like-minded people, but finding the right place that doesn't have certain issues that are just kind of just finding a nice in alignment with like universal consciousness
Yeah.
kind of place to
Yeah.
work with would be fabulous.
The
Wow.
pathway, the golden carpet is unfolding before you in each one of
Yeah.
us. It is.
Oh,
And those crystals, they can be used so well in the garden. When I was out there on Hawaii, I put together some gardens in backyard gardens that had crystals that we used. Like made a little like bamboo raised bed and then put crystals at all the corners and in the center of it just to amplify the energy and synergize with the plant friends.
right. Oh, yeah, there's so many. I'm going to be doing hopefully I think in the next month, there's a cool community. And we're going to put in a wheel, like just, a circle of crystals and stuff. And hopefully we're going to have like meet up a couple times and the kids can paint their intentions or paint something on the rocks that we're using. And they're all river rocks, or instead from around Spokane. And then they can make their circle and put their intentions right there where they live in their housing community. And I thought that's just the perfect spot to do it. So that's what we're going to be doing hopefully really soon here.
Nice.
Just a
Amazing.
little.
You might need a nonprofit or some sort of structure for all that you probably can be doing, going forward here. Because it would be great if you could free agent out a little bit more and take all that you are, all your value, and go to events and go to villages and set up little crystal shops and intention shops at different communities or whatever, your vision, mission, goal is. It would be cool to have, if you had your own fund, Keegan, how could she set up a fund maybe?
Yeah, or simply a project, you can be through the Earth School Fund.
Yeah, there you
You know,
go.
like I was just speaking about like what are the qualifications that somebody needs to have or be in the process of creating in order to be funded by this artisan mechanism. I mean, and I'm not the only one that's stewarding a fund on there. There's all kinds of
Right.
funds and synergy that can be created.
What if you were to add, say you started onboarding, say you onboarded Misty, Tracy, a handful that are around you that you see could be teachers within your Earth school. What if you onboarded them in and you have a whole process for that, and then also you teach them how they can launch their own fund on the platform too. So they're a part of your school, but then they have their own
Well,
link
so
on the artisan
it's
too.
not that I have a school, right?
Right.
I've created this Earth School Fund, but we are all in the
Right.
Earth School,
Yes, we
and
are.
we all have these lessons that we're out here learning and teaching.
Yeah.
And so the idea is to kind of maximize the learning with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Earth School wants to support is projects that people have. That they have a certain level of intentionality. So their project has to have a mission, clearly written out mission, vision, values of the project, and that way people that want to come and be a part of it have a clear understanding about what it is that you stand for. Self-governance. How do you make decisions in your project? What's the decision-making process? Who holds the power to make the decisions, and how do you get that power if you want to collaborate with the project? And when conflicts arise, as they inevitably do, how do we resolve those? So those are the things that have to be in place for a project to be included and funded via the Earth School Fund. But it's not that I have like one Earth School and I'm like the headmaster. We are all in the Earth School, and I just am wanting to channel the resources and bring a level of accountability that we have this great intentional self-governance infrastructure in place. And I'm happy, to help anybody that's open to developing that if they need some help, and I can recommend some other people that are really great at doing that as well at a really high level. And there's lots of great resources available as far as people to help us.
So say people find your fund on the artisan platform, and they do contribute. A certain amount of people contribute, and you meet your goals. You raise the funds or whatnot. Then that's what I have to get clear on. Is like all these funds on here, like, is that money, you have that money yourself, and then there has to be a little more structure to the next steps what does that look like? Do you have your own nonprofit or whatnot that you have an Earth School? Are you going to be funding specific projects within your fund, within your Earth School? Like that clarity, like if you were to take your website and all that you built yourself and your projects and integrate it all, combine it together, and then have your fund as one of your pieces to your whole how you show up in the world in your project, then you can form a core team, and each person can then have their role in your project. I don't know where it's all going,
So,
but I
yeah,
just see
so, I
it's
mean,
great.
the way that Artisan works
Yeah.
is that the platform is people will make a contribution to the projects that they want to see
Right.
manifest into reality.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And there's many beautiful projects out there, and we're incentivized to support them because you actually get art token in the Artisan platform. So that's a cryptocurrency. And so
Oh, okay.
you're holding a stake in this great platform and game that helps us move our projects forward. And at the same time, you're earning something as being a stakeholder in that project.
Right.
And so the money that's donated, and the other thing that you get is what's called an artifact. So each project has a picture that represents the project, what the goal is to create. And so that's called an artifact. And when you go and make a donation, we call it buying an artifact. So you
Right.
go and buy an artifact for the project that you want to see happen. And so that has the potential also to increase in value. As you go, say
Right.
one of
Right.
these projects goes and totally changes the world, you can be able to say, even if it's just value as a digital keepsake, saying that like I was one of those supporters that started, bringing that
Right.
project into reality, and here's the little memento that I have.
Right.
But what happens is that all the donations are matched from the artisan endowment, and
Mm.
there's a certain timeline as far as whether the match funding is 2 times as much, or like I think the first week, yes, last week was the first week of a new season of the artisan game, uh, and so during that week the match funding was 3 times what people as sponsors would donate or buy
Right.
artifacts. um, and and so all of that money is basically held by Artisan until the end of the season, which the last season was about 5.5 months long, I believe. And so during that period, the money's all accumulating, and then it is sent out after the season's over to activate all these projects and give them their fluidity
So
financially.
your project, so the Earth School Fund. So say you do get funded, then are you have that money go into your accounts, and then what's the next step? How does that work?
Oh,
Like,
it goes directly to the projects, actually.
so how where are the projects that are within the Earth School Fund? Like, are those listed within? Like, I don't understand it yet. So
Yeah, so you can go to our Earth School page, which there's a link in the description of this video.
yeah,
And you can see the projects which are being reviewed, and also the ones that have already been approved. So the ones that have been
right,
approved are just 3. There's a beautiful one called Planta More, which is based in Spain, and actually believe in the Canary Islands. And they're doing amazing work. Their self-governance is all very detailed and well thought out, and they're helping people to really evolve as conscious emotional beings, like how we can not, it's basically self-mastery work, as we like to call it, gardening. Remember Adrian Avocado?
I mean, yeah,
He's the one that told me that it's God in you when you're gardening. It's an exercise in consciousness. So it's
yeah.
inner work, cultivating what you want to see within yourself, and it's outer work, cultivating what you want to see in the environment. And
So
those,
so on your page here, you've got specific projects already on here. Is that right?
yeah. Are you able to
Huh.
to bring it up
If
and show it? If you want, we can check
Yeah,
them
I'm
out.
not so, I don't really know how to do that so well. I have it here on tablet, but like I'm looking at it, it says Earth School Fund and then $20,000 total. And then down here it says $5,495 available. It ends in 2 days though. It's confusing, but and then it has
Yeah,
supporters on there, but it's in the little lightning bolts. Like I don't really know. Like you said, I
so
didn't know it was a currency thing. I didn't know what it was yet, so I'm still learning myself about eligibility, qualify.
yeah, there's
Um,
also a boost points that you use. So it's not just money that we're playing with on
right.
Artisan. Actually,
Mm,
you can get boost points. So it's part of a system for how you can basically vote for what you want to see in the world, right?
yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Um,
Totally. Very
yeah. So
interesting.
I mentioned one of the projects that was approved is Plantamore, and then there's another one that's this initiative for planting trees. So they're going school to school and doing tree planting activities with the children in I think it's in Ghana. I think it was the first one. There were a couple that applied,
Yeah.
and yes, that
I
one's in
saw
I
that.
believe it's Ghana.
Are there any though that are like within the Earth School Fund, which is yours that you're curating? It says you're seeking projects that help people learn by living, growing, and building regenerative communities together. So, like, like you're out there meeting people, like you're doing what you're doing here. You're going to attract an interest. So then, do you list those projects on your page here? Is that
Yeah,
part of the
they're there. You
process?
can see them there.
Oh, they're there already. I'm
Yeah,
just
they're there.
so um
It shows ones in curation and ones that are approved or I think it's whatever the word is.
it's not competition.
Yeah, competition.
Curation?
That's what it is. The ones that are in competition have been admitted into the Earth School Fund.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay, got it. I thought they were the competitors to your like I just thought Earth School and these are in a similar niche, but they're competitors to get the funding. I didn't know that they're a part of the Earth School Fund.
yeah, those
Okay,
three
so
that are under
social agri
competition, those are like the ones on the court, and the other ones are like on the bench, like waiting for the coach to call them in, type of thing. And
got it.
I mean,
So
I
social
mentioned
agroforestry at Los Higuerones
that's the
has
other one
got
I didn't mention. That's in Costa Rica.
they've raised they got sales, they got a match already. They've got Plant a More Regenerative Community has sales and a match, and Adopt a Tree has sales and a match as well. Okay, so those are the three, and then curation are the ones that are not yet like those three are a go or whatnot, and then I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. The other ones I'm in communication with to get their self-governance documents so that I
Okay,
know that they have a clear mission, vision, values, decision-making structure, and
that's good.
uh, conflict resolution. And the
That's
other
good.
piece I
Yeah.
wanted to get into is speaking about like an assessment. That's another component that needs to be some way that people actually share the learning to the broader community. So afterwards,
Right.
whether it's within YouTube videos of the project that they do, or whether it's having a document that they share articles of what their learning is, so that more people can learn from
Right.
what learning they're doing.
So the ones that are in curation are Eco Villab from Swamp to Sanctuary, Green Pill Uganda, Uganda's Regenerative Agriculture and Web3 Mission.
That one's
Uh,
pretty interesting. I don't know. Actually, that one is the one that I looked at the most with the most amount of like skepticism. Because
yeah, you never
they're
know with some of these like African, you just never know what's legit or not. And how do you know? Can you go travel? You can't afford to be traveling to all of these projects to see legitimacy and such. I used to talk to on Facebook. I used to talk to Uganda and these different. They say they're permaculturalists and or they have a foster system or something, and they need money and or send them stuff for money, and it's like it's difficult to know what's real and
That's,
not,
I mean, that ties into what I was saying earlier about, how everyone has a unique perspective and the
Yeah,
importance of valuing that. Because
right.
I'm the only one that's doing the curation from these projects right now. But I'll
Yeah,
be speaking to somebody this week, hopefully, that is interested in doing that. And like I said, if you are interested in being a curator for these projects and helping me figure out which ones are legit and making sure that they
right.
have some kind of self-governance infrastructure, or like making sure that it's going to be an intentional and like let's say um,
Wow.
not to say authentic, but like genuinely committed type of project that's going to be moving and making this, because with on this artisan platform, it's like people can come and game the thing, right, and like away with the funds, but then you're doing that in the view of a global community that's growing in awareness, and we're becoming more aware of what's happening on our global stage, like I mentioned with the AI and things that were so easily hidden before are not so easily hidden now, and that's true for all of our circles at every level.
Yeah, for sure. You're on season 7. Does that mean you just run this? You run it because you got 2 days left on this one, so you just keep running it again, or something.
So the artisan
Fund drive.
on artisan platform, there's fund drives that last for 1 week. They're each week from Thursday until Thursday, and so that's the 2 days left that you see, I guess. But it's only Monday.
Got it. And some of these other funds are like way up the leaderboard, but like yours hasn't yet. You're newer to the whole thing probably, but
actually we don't officially launch until we have 5 projects that are in competition that have been approved for the fund. So
got it.
We got 3 more, and
3 in there.
Yes, you could be that project that helps us actually bring our fund forward into the running with all these other amazing funds that are out there.
I mean, I think ultimately they're going to need to present their exactly what's in your protocol on your page here. They've got to prove it all. So it's on them to prove it all. They got to prove all this in your description. So whatever that looks like, but then, it's a lot of work to be interacting with all these different projects, and like, where does your income, your salary, your funding come from, that, so that you can focus your time, energy, efforts on this and build a team.
I'm not volunteering in this project. So the fund directors and curators receive a 20% of what's generated for their fund.
Got it.
Through their fund. All right. So
that's cool.
You can receive compensation by collaborating with me to curate these projects, if you're interested.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Welcome in. Cruz Bolero's here. Mark Crow is in the house. Let's see here. And Broke but Bountifully Blessed Carol wants to come up on the panel. Let's see here. Cranky Frankie is here. Welcome in. ASAP LA1. Yeah, Cranky Frankie's a musician. He loves singing and playing guitar. He's awesome. Cranky Frankie. But if somebody wants to come up, I guess we can keep this thing going and having more guests. I mean, it's your show too, Keegan, because it's about sharing. Keegan sharing his updates about the Earth School Fund for Living Villages, and also
I got plenty more to say besides that. I got a lot of things that I'm interested in at the moment, so
for sure
we can extend out to other topics as well.
We can keep going if you want to share anything. If Misty wants to share something, if we want to have some more guests, we can keep it generally on the same subject. Go ahead, Misty.
I was just going to say I'll just be right back, but I'm here.
Sounds good. Awesome.
Big hug, Misty.
So I dropped the link in the chat. So, but let's keep it on topic. Generally, we're talking about solutions going forward as a human species on this Earth that's very dynamic. Let's keep it going.
Mr. President, have you seen this book? This is about Maui. Well, it's partially about Maui, and maybe it's mirrored and you can't read it so well.
Does that say Lahaina on it?
It says how the Lahaina Inferno sparked a global awakening. This is by Paul Delorier. You know Paul.
Yeah, is that Paul? Oh yeah, Delorier. Yeah, of course. So Paul wrote that. Oh, he's into politics and everything. That's interesting that he's going out on such a more of a spiritual,
Paul, so for those of you who don't know Paul, he's an amazing friend of mine and Doran's that lives out there on Maui. And he's been into grassroots change making for a long time. And so his book is out. It's about grassroots. It touches on the Lahaina catastrophe that happened out there. But it goes into the whole global picture and how we can be effective change makers, and the quantum nature of our reality, like we're speaking about prayer, to practice rigorously attuning yourself to pray, and make that every activity that you do, you can do as a prayer.
Right. Everything. Yeah, as a prayer. I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's wild. And it's not just that Lahaina event, but you can see a series of events over a series of years. And for me, my journey's been since 2012, which the Mayan, prophecy, the end of the world, whole dynamic. And then really, to me, it's a whole new world, a new creation. We're in a new place in the cosmos, the golden age, the 26,000 year cycle. We're in that 1,000 years, where we can just create a new anything. It's like very malleable, this creation, and not so stagnant and controlled and locked down anymore. It's more, what do we want to create? It can be done now. Nothing is real of the old ways, systems. It's all going to fall off if we step into ourselves and focus our attentions, our energy, and we create. It's all for us to do right now. So yeah,
and actually the truth is that we are all on the same team. And even the warmongers of the world are in service to our evolution,
right. Everything's God.
We get stuck in a pattern, and we need something to kick us out, which is why we get sick, right? That's why we have demented people making political choices. That's a mental illness. That's actually
right.
It's showing us the boundaries of where we need to not fall off our evolutionary track. And if we get too close to the boundary, then we're gonna get kicked. And that it can be very a rude awakening. And
it's wild. Like all the fires that have been happening, all the pandemics, like the next thing, just a couple of days ago, diarrhea is running rampant now because Taco Bell, because of lettuce from Mexico. There's fires up in Canada.
I think we need to do a whole thing on just that, Mr. President.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's break that down. Let's break that down right now.
Revisit that topic in a whole new video.
Then we're talking about the need to do parasite cleanses and detox the body and stuff like that. Because honestly, the root of most of everything seems to honestly come down to parasites, whether it's energetic parasites, actual parasites in the body, brain, and people. Sometimes people are parasites too.
Right. Yeah. If you're run by parasites, then yeah, you're ultimately, I guess, you're a parasite, or you're a host of a lot of parasites. Then you become parasitical on the planet amongst your species, I guess. I don't even know if we can call them our species, but
well, it's a community, right? Inside our bodies is a community,
right,
of microorganisms, and also like our organs are a community amongst themselves. Like as in Chinese medicine, they teach about like how the heart is like the emperor organ. The heart is the one that's truly in charge, that holds the electromagnetic charge, the greatest one of the body, and generates this field. And it's through heart coherence, and when we coherent, with the brain, which is another powerful organ.
The gut.
But the brain is a great servant to the heart and to the body. It's a poor master just by itself. Like if we get cut off, like this poster behind me with the head cut off, that's when we get a disconnection between the thoughts that are happening through our mind. I think that's the chronic disease, right? That's the thing that we're stuck in. We're distracted. It's chronic distraction out there, but it's the opposite of traction. I explained this before on when we had an interview in the past when I was down in Florida. It's like traction means you get a grip on the earth, right? So being in touch with being embodied is how you stay traction, and that's how you move forward and get progress as far as traction, right? But if you're
behind
traction, right?
Behind you, you've got the kundalini, you got the chakras and everything behind you. Some people don't even understand that yet. Like, I don't know if the church has any concept of that either. Like, which is fascinating to me, to be such a huge mission with so many people around the world, but I don't know if they have anything about, like, is the Bible ever mentioned like the energy centers of our being, and how important it is that we are activating our energy centers and that the energies are flowing through us. The cosmic source God energies need to flow through us. So we got to do the work on all of our chakras. So Kundalini was very important in my life. I remember that back when I was in Ohio, back when I was running my business years back, and then my transformation happened very quickly, being hit by a car, and then a new heart, a new being, a new everything happened so fast. But I had to do the spiritual work, the energy work, detox as well, and all the things.
That reminds me, there's something coming up in just a couple days. I think that's an event about, and it's you mentioned Ohio, because there's like mounds, right? There's sacred land
Right.
that is recognized as a site of, maybe a crossing of the energetic lines there. And
Right.
there's actually a woman that's hosting an event that's coming right up in a few days that is to focus on the sacred lands of America in particular.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of mounds around that area. I visited the Angel Mounds in Illinois, and the Garden of the Gods in southern Illinois. And I know there's a Garden of Gods in Colorado there where you're at too, if you get a chance to visit Garden of the Gods in Colorado. Yeah.
That's really close to where I am, and I did visit there.
Oh, nice. I visited the one in Illinois. That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
And my friends took some of my mother's remains to the Garden of the Gods on their trip last year and spread them and some crystals from Misty Eyed Crystals all over it.
Wow. Wow.
So I've never been there, but we went like that.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all connected. Yep, indeed. I'll be right back. You guys continue.
Okay, I was just looking for. I'm gonna look for it in a little bit. Again, I can share because it's an interesting event for those of you that may be interested in the sacred land and the energy of the earth. And I wouldn't be able to like quote the particular passage, but I believe that probably there's a number of places in the Bible which speak about like our chakras, energy centers, and anatomy. But in the language is clothed in metaphor, right? It's teaching us in a riddle that we have to decipher. We have to understand that these stories that are presented like in ancient texts, like the Bible, are actually meant as teachings for us that are relevant and personal to us right now. They're not necessarily historical things for us to just take as history. Right? I just wanted to mention that to what Doran was saying about the chakras being whether or not in the Bible.
I don't know. I kind of resonate with the chakra systems are kind of where we were hooked up to the matrix energetically, and that it is like they can get clogged and they can be damaged and they could need a little assistance. And that's why I like the crystals so much, because they're drawn to the crystal or thing that they like the best, and then that holds a frequency also that helps clear or helps do self-work, helps you to do self-work in your chakras, depending on the color you're drawn to or what crystal. And it's really interesting because I will just let people pick and then we'll look it up and then I'll say what it says it helps to assist work with. And then they're like, wow. And it's a form of color therapy. And Deb used to do color therapy all the time. And that's part of what crystal therapy is the colors linking, to the different areas in your aura. And I know in the Bible it said something about, I don't know if it was Jesus that said it or not, but he was talking about you don't have clear sight until you can see people's auras. He may not have said it like that, but he said you can see that until you can see the energetic field around each and every person, you don't have clear sight. Something like along those lines, I remember, which is still something to do with the chakras and how one is vibrating, their frequency.
The rainbow beings, right? You have to,
100%. You clear
you have
up
to,
and do all your self work, and you vibrate like a rainbow. All
mm,
the colors are clear, and people with sight can see that. They can see your rainbow aura. You don't have to do any speaking, they already know. That's been my experience.
yeah. Rain, bro. Doran is back.
Rainbow. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Guess who's back? Yeah, I had to check my messages. I don't have to work. That's one thing. And the other thing is I'm going to the Bible study, but I have 4 hours before that starts. So
Okay.
it's been really interesting to me, the whole going to the church journey and the Bible study and everything. And
So
I just show up.
did you catch what I was saying about that while you were gone, or did you
I
go
don't
out
think
of
I
your?
caught it. No, I went and got my charger too. So, and
Okay.
and I, and did things that we have to do once in a while to clear out. I had to go use the restroom.
That was those Taco Bell. The Taco Bell. We're gonna talk about that later. We'll have a
I
whole
didn't. It
episode.
wasn't me. I didn't eat Taco Bell. It's only in the states like Ohio, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois. That region, they
Oh,
got lettuce from Mexico. They said from some farm, Taylor Farms. Did you ever work trade at Taylor Farm? No, no, just kidding.
I
And
played a
they
Taylor
say
guitar.
shredded lettuce. They said from Taylor
Shredded
Farms.
the lettuce, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, shredded lettuce. That's a good name for a band for your guitar play. Yeah.
Yes.
When I
Yeah.
looked up what causes that particular bug, it's from human feces. So since you said it's from Mexico, I hear a lot of times that they use human
Oh
feces in there.
no.
Yeah, that's why if you go to Mexico and you eat there, you want to be careful because they use human feces in their fertilizer, and that can make you sick.
Wow. Wow.
That's
Humanure.
what I always heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
humanure. Yeah. There's some positive to that, some potentials to that, but then there's a big risk there, not done right, it sounds like. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I remember, like I've always been passionate about like, how do we utilize our waste? Like we shouldn't have waste. Like, so the humanure concept,
Oh
it
yeah,
can
I
be
can show
cool
you. I
if
can
it's
show you
done
on the
right.
dance floor how I utilize my waist. Right, it's right between my torso and my legs.
You got
My
a
waist
great waist
line.
there. You
I'm
got a
just
great
playing.
waist.
But
Yeah,
there is
that's
no
great.
waste. That's one of the permaculture principles, right? There's
Yeah,
no
exactly.
waste. Everything is cycling in this loop that we have.
So how do you use the humanure? What's your process? I know composting toilets and then letting it process for a little while. Like you use certain things like lime and hay and things or something. Is that
Sure,
right?
sure. There's various ways to do it. Where I did it before is with a lot of generally we would use sawdust, and there's a
Let's see.
particular mixture of microorganisms that's called effective microorganisms
Hmm.
that was they developed in Japan, I believe. They're doing lots of amazing things in Japan, including I just read that they're coming out with med beds. That was a
Oh
Facebook
wow!
post, so I don't know whether like it's actually true or not, but it's kind
Right.
of interesting. And Japan is
Wow.
really amazing place, which I haven't been to, but the effective
Mm,
microorganisms as a really effective at reducing the odor in the compost
mm,
toilet,
right.
and also just on the soil everywhere in general. It promotes a healthy balance. Like I was saying before, that we have a community of our microorganisms. We are a
Right.
community. And
Yeah.
there are certain microorganisms that are very crafty and they can influence the way that we behave. And that's
Mm,
happening on a mass scale.
right.
Pretty certain about that.
Mm.
But so it's about cultivating, like I said, gardening, right? Cultivating
Gardening. Yeah.
the promoting the microbial life that we want to see happen and making sure that it's balanced. And part of creating balance is having diversity, right? So just like with our different perspectives in our community, so that we can create balance in the way that we make decisions and carry out our society. Same thing with the micro society,
Yeah.
and in the soil, right, and in the humanure
Right.
as we're talking about.
Yeah. And then and then you've got to bury it. I remember back, even I don't want to say exactly where, but I've lived on a community and we did that. We buried it, and I'm curious to how it all went, but so like certain level, how deep you should bury it. Like, should it really be surface level where you're putting crops in? I don't think that's good idea unless it needs to process a lot longer. I don't really know how that works.
Well, interestingly, there's a book I just got that I need to read. That's
Yeah.
the Nepalese Farmer's Handbook. It's
Mm,
apparently been probably pretty widely um, praised and used by as a kind of a comprehensive what you need to know to live off the grid, right? And how to
right.
how to have a self-sufficient farm type of
Yeah.
thing. And I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't come across it and read it earlier, but now being in Gaia University,
Yeah.
part of it's been presented to me, and it's so they talk about that, digging a pit toilet, and
Right.
uh, it's not really very complicated, right?
Right.
Unless you have rocks, then it's hard to get around those rocks if you're digging a hole. That's
Right.
tough.
Mm. Yeah, it's fascinating. I've always been interested in that. Yeah, because ultimately, yeah, like we can't, and we're on an island here in Maui, so we kind of understand, but we don't. But like in like Africa, or certain places, they've been figuring out how to, deal with their waste for a long time. But what if we could come to a best practices solution? And I know, like in suburbs or living in cities and suburbs, it might be a little harder to get these best practices integrated into society. But at least out in the out in the rural areas, it could be integrated sooner, where people own their own land and they can process their own waste. If we're talking about having our own off the grid living, and you have your own energy and you have your own food and all the things, you would want to have your own, waste processing as well. So, yeah,
Yep, yep.
for
Uh,
sure.
it's not too hard to do, I believe. I've been part of doing it, and
Doing it, you've been doing it and pooing
doing it.
it.
Yep.
Doing
Everybody
it and
poop.
doing it.
That's a
Hard
song.
facts.
Open up
Yeah.
that third eye.
Open up that third eye, says Keegan. Keegan's got a whole nother language that y'all might not have heard. What's your favorite word again?
Integrate fullness.
Integratefulness. So integrate and fullness, and
That-
grateful and
That's
fullness.
where we're bound. That's where we're going. That's
That's
our
where we're
destination.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's the journey and the destination. The
The
journey
journey.
is the destination, right?
Yeah, for
It's a
sure.
it's a feeling of great fullness that
Mm,
brings us into the material realization of great fullness.
yeah.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
what are some communities that you visited, or some cool projects that you recommend, or what have you learned just traveling and going to these different communities? And somebody here might want to travel and visit a community, and and anything helps.
Well, maybe I could start by recommending a documentary. I mean, there's lots of really good
Yeah,
ones,
sure.
but like ones that's just coming up right now because we're approaching the galactic New Year, right?
Hmm.
The Jose Arguelles was the man who kind of did a Mayan calendar revival, right? He
Yeah.
changed it a little bit, and some people criticize him for doing that, but um, this is celebrated in certain cultures as the new year. We're coming up to it. We're 5 days away from the
Mm,
last day of the year.
mm,
Um, well, it would be actually, they call it the day out of time, because this
right.
is a calendar that's more in alignment with natural timing
Hmm.
of where there's 13 cycles in the year, right? And
Right.
there actually are, right? And so
The
we're confused,
moons. The
right?
13 full moons cycles, 28 days per moon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I mentioned the Sacred Lands of America is something that's happening on the 29th. So the next upcoming full moon.
Okay.
Maybe before we finish up the show, I'll find the link to it. You guys can check it out. But
Nice,
that's just
nice.
something to be
So
interested in.
tell us about the day out of time a little bit. I know I've read up on it in the past, and It's coming up, you said?
The 25th of July. So it's
Okay.
a cycle that's based on the heliacal rise of Sirius. So when the star Sirius, which they say is where dolphins come from, it didn't come from the Earth. Maybe, well, I don't know if it's true, but it seems like a nice thing to talk about. Anyway, Sirius was, we have star brothers and family from Sirius, and
Yeah.
and there's an ancient connection. You know, they talk about the Sphinx in Egypt, right, as being constructed by like a lion-headed race of beings.
Right.
From
Okay.
Sirius, and so the new year was also celebrated by the ancient Egyptians as around this time when the star Sirius would rise just before the sun in the morning sky. And that corresponded with the flooding of the Nile River, which we don't have anymore because we have the dam. So dam, and that the ancient Mayans and the ancient Egyptians were quite maybe similar cultures. Like they were tuning into the same kind of ideas, right? Including celebrating their new year at the heliacal rise of Sirius. And we may be talking about some really ancient cultures going back further than what, you know, mainstream academia says is the history. But I wanted to recommend a documentary which is about Mayan people today. And, you know, we say Jose Arguelles I said he did a revival of the calendar, but it wasn't really needed because the Mayan culture is still alive and people still use that calendar and practice the traditions that have been practiced for many long centuries and millennia by Mayan people. So I want to recommend a documentary that's called Beyond the Ruins, where somebody, you know, goes from his home in Florida down to Mexico and stays with a Mayan family and learns some of their traditions. And it's really touching. And this is the type of experience, you know, that I've gotten to have, on, you know, like on occasion in many places. Like, so I went to Costa Rica and took my first permaculture design course there. And that was one of the most amazing, like, learning experiences as far as how to subsist off the land. Which is easier to do in Costa Rica, by the way, because it's very like things just grow there, you know, and it's abundant. That's why it's called the rich coast. It's Costa Rica because they have amazing abundance of food that's available that grows there. But everyone's in competition, right? And we're all collaborating at the same time. It's a co-opetition where we're cooperating, and also you got to make sure that you go out and get your food before the other animals do.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like
A lot.
we have a milk system.
Like the day out of time, I just remember it's a day of celebration, arts, crafts, dancing, right? Creativity. What's the energies of that day? I forget. I haven't looked at it in a while. What's the whole kind of understanding of the day out of time? Like, it's a holiday, it's a festival day for people that are aware of this calendar, celebration around the world of culture, and creativity and art and dance and music and all the things. I know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was saying, like I didn't quite finish explaining like the whole cycles is 13 cycles of 28 days. And that makes 364. And so that leaves one day. And well, I guess they measured it. That's our cycle around the sun is 365 and a quarter days. So I guess it really leaves a day and a quarter out of time. But that's, I mean, it's about the Sirian energy, you know, it's that amazing, like the Sirius is a binary star. So you can see it like flickering in the sky, and it's like they're just having a rave up there. They have the lights going, and the dolphins are swimming, jumping out of the water, and getting in each other's blowholes. And
Maritage Shades of Light is here. She says that she's watched that Mayan documentary. That's cool.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and you know, it's a great place to start for somebody that is not that's not part of their world currently. is this concept of, you know, going and learning from people and connecting with a more rooted and grounded way of being, and, you know, slowing down and tuning into the cycles of nature, and yeah, you know, washing your clothes with a scrub brush and some ash from the fire, which gets them clean, and actually you use less energy. And you know, that's what I learned in Costa Rica. My first permaculture teacher, Stephen Brooks, defined permaculture as like, how can we meet our goals and use less energy? You know, we don't need to be spending all this crazy amount of energy in order to live a happy life.
Right.
And so actually less is often more, right? As they say.
Yeah.
There's all these like sayings that we say that we know they're true because we say them all the time, but then when it comes to actually living it, like a village, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah. Right.
So where's the village? Like, how we're not actually raising children. They're still, they're like, even we grow into adult bodies, but we're still children that haven't been raised because we didn't have a village. And so
and
in
no
order
rights,
to raise ourselves,
and the rites of passage, too. You know, so you want to have that too, that aspect. You know, so so permaculture is interesting, and you are certified, right? So, what is that? What is permaculture? People here might be interested in growing food, or, you know, just gardening, things like that. And, you know, what is permaculture? How do they get involved with that?
Permaculture is essentially it's an indigenous revival, which is why, you know, in recommending getting into it, I would recommend like a documentary like that, where you get to learn, you know, by proxy through this guy who went and stayed with some indigenous Mayan people, preserving their ancestral traditions, and being in deep oneness with the earth. Not even partnership. You know, it's actually a realization that we are the earth and we are all one here. And so we just live in the flow of increasing life. You know, that's the evolutionary process that we're going. The earth school is life is increasing and evolving and becoming more prolific and diverse and complex, right? We're increasing in complexity through the process of evolution. And so as part of that journey, like, we mess up. You know, you don't learn just by, you know, without getting messy, right? There's disasters and horrible things that are done, and it's all part of the learning experience, right? And the mindset that we you know, that I would suggest adopting, right? So is like a learning mindset, a growth mindset, success mindset, where there's no such thing as failure, really. You know, we have these learning experiences, and so like permaculture, to get more into defining it, is you know, it's like reviving these ancestral traditions in a language that a culture that's like our culture today, this postmodern era of scientism, they say, which scientism, if you don't know, it's a religion of worshiping the scientific authorities. So the doctor wears a white lab coat, or the researcher, and you accept him as your authority because he is certified, he's got his credentials, and he's a priest of the scientism religion.
So what about, so like doctor, would a lawyer, an accountant, would all the other specialists would be also, you know, leaders in their own kind of way in this? Because we give authority away.
Also,
I always talk about being born into this world, and my parents are my, you know, my role models, my teachers in the beginning. And then outside of the home, you know, I'm put under teachers, there's doctors, there's lawyers, there's accountants, there's all these different authority figures. And you just see the world through the lens of, these are all the authorities of your world. And each of them has truth within their realm, and that they're masters, and that you're, you know, lower, that you need to go to these types of leaders to get these sorts of, whatever you need in those fields. So yeah.
Yeah, so they have doctrines, right?
Right.
And so there's like an accepted doctrine that's carried forth by the customs.
Mm.
So, and like you mentioned, lawyers, and like law is also a science, and
Right.
it's also scientism, where the priest
Mm.
is the judge in the black robe,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
He's
Yep.
the priest
Yep.
of that temple, of
Mm.
the scientism temple of the court. Like
Wow.
that's got a certain
Yeah.
they have a certain law form that they're
Right.
carrying forward. But it's like I said, it's all religious in nature, and it's like I was saying before, like we have these sayings, and they reveal truth, and we know that they're true. Uh,
Yeah.
like when you say you do something religiously, uh,
Yeah.
my point that I like to make is that it is a religion. Whatever you do consistently is your religion. Why? Because religion isn't something that you compartmentalize like spirituality, right? Religion
Right.
is like a systematic approach to spirituality. And it's
Yeah.
not something that can
Right.
be compartmentalized, even though that's what we're trying to do. Like we're
Right.
mistaken to think that we compartmentalize part of our life into religion or spirituality, when in fact this
Right.
entire life is spiritual.
Yeah.
Every
It is.
experience that we have is a
Yeah.
spiritual experience, and every
Right.
habit that we form is
Hmm.
fundamentally, I would contend, it's a religious habit, um,
Right. Right.
because we do it religiously. You see what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Wow. Yeah.
So,
Interesting. Interesting.
so permaculture is about finding those habits which are life increasing, so that we are in alignment with life, with the life force principle, with the Mother Earth, with the cosmos, with this being in tune with the cycles, and not
Yeah.
out of tune, so that we're
But
stumbling
but
through.
generally speaking, from an outsider looking in, I've seen permaculture mostly is a set of principles for being on the land, mostly with how we grow, how we steward the land, mostly. But you're saying there's a lot more complexity and depth to it, and really maybe the book on permaculture should continue to expand, and you may be able to help with that, because there's a lot more than just living on the land. If we're really creating permanent culture that's going to last and that's going to help us thrive and be in balance with earth and the elements and all that, permaculture needs to expand more into the spiritual and the truth of all the ways that we live and exist, coexist with the earth, the elements, the animals, the other species, and such. It's not just a book on gardening. A lot of
You're
people might
right.
think it's only that.
You're right,
But
but also, like it is ultimately all about the land,
yeah,
because
right.
this is Earth school, and
Sure, sure.
we are all Mother Earth here, and that's what
Yeah,
is all about, is her, and the source. The source of our sustenance
right, right.
is the land.
True,
Um,
true,
so
true. And the
it is what.
air and the waters and everything. Yeah,
Mhm.
everything. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Oh, it goes way beyond all that anyway, because what Mother Earth can do, like what truly this place is, and what we're capable of being part of it and from it, and everything else is this is a major manifestation field, plane of
Hmm.
existence. You can't manifest anything like you manifest here, is because our very universe is birthed from the earth. Mother Earth,
Hmm.
the whole universe, everything that we see is
Hmm.
her universe. She birthed it, she manifested it, and we have the ability to manifest and create anything we want to here.
Yeah.
The co-creators, with the right
Hmm.
thoughts, words, deeds, vibrations, and intentions.
Right.
Hmm.
And
Connected with the
you're just
earth, you're going to have a lot more luck,
Yeah.
success.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's important to be grounded, and definitely big, big truth coming through there from one of our women leaders. Yes, indeed. Yes,
yeah.
indeed. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And a lot of people might think like there might be this thought that exists where, oh, there's this great creator out there, and kind of put all that energy out into some vast, infinite, faraway place in the cosmos where there's this creator out there, but to bring it all home. And we are earth beings, made of the earth. We live here. This is our home. And for this to be the center of all creation, and for our heart, our being, for us to create from that place, knowing that the creator, yes, but we are each the creator. And we've got to be grounded here on earth, but also work with the elements and the energies and of all that is, to create. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Sounds like you're speaking to the integrate fullness.
Oh yeah, always. Meritage Shades of Light says permaculture integrates plants, buildings, animals, and human needs as symbiotic system. True, true, very true.
With the double
Love
butterfly.
it. Double
Very good.
butterfly. I like it. I like it. Nice, nice. Very cool. Welcome. Yeah. And I think
Right.
YouTube is actually shifting more and more towards, there's a spiritual shift happening in the world, of course, and YouTube is an expression of it, with a couple billion people on here, on the platform or whatnot, 2-3 billion out of the upwards of 8 billion on the planet per se. So it's a pretty good expression. As things shift on YouTube, it's showing that the people are waking up all around the world, and we're moving into. We're seeing a lot more people growing food, a lot more people on the land, a lot more people self-sustaining and creating, and with these conscious understandings, spiritual, journey, beliefs, knowingnesses, and such. So, yeah, we've been positioning ahead, as much as ahead doesn't really mean anything, but in our path, in my experience, my manifestation, my world, it was pretty lonely, being, seeing all this and speaking all this for years and years and years. It's crazy. It's been 14 years since my spiritual awakening. And I live in a pretty normal reality, living on an island, Maui, and amongst pretty normal people doing normal jobs. Everything's pretty much normal still. Oh my.
What is normal?
What is
Right?
normal? I know, right? The
Nothing's normal.
the world that I grew up in, this person grew up in, that has people working jobs, people going to colleges, working jobs, raising their 2 kids, normal family, living in a uh, whatever, regular little civilization that's, watching television and eating microwave meals, or
Yes. I mean,
both.
it becomes normal, like over a short period of time, relatively
Yeah,
speaking, right?
right, right. It
Since
does.
after
Normalized.
World War II, you know, after World War II in the United States, we came into this prosperous thing, and they set up the playhouse of modern society,
Right. Yeah.
and like and when
Fascinating.
they kind of went to set some norms, and those
Yeah.
norms were defined by some social engineers, right? And
Yeah.
I have a book about that right here, which is called The Pyramid of Power by
Mm.
Derek Brose, that talks about what is the normal that was set for us,
Right.
and by us, by suggestion, by going along to get along type of paradigm that we all know very well from growing up and living in this society, and but normal is as something that is each of us is free to define, and actually that's what the United States of America was founded to perpetuate, is for us to be free to define the religion of our daily habits, right? So it's about freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom of religion is about freedom in general, and that's what more and more people are realizing now with the resurgence of private membership associations and ministerial associations. Like I mentioned, Integrate Fullness is the ministry that I'm carrying forward, which is a private ministry. And I can speak about it publicly, but I welcome you to engage with me in the private, so that we are free to carry forward the Integrate Fullness, kind of the values that we hold, values of like I mentioned, of curiosity, of not just like of having tolerance for one another, that we each have, and valuing each other's unique perspectives, but actually being curious about them and like supporting. And we're places where we have different perspectives that could be, in conflict with one another. That doesn't mean that we have to approach our relationship from a stance of conflict and perpetuate the paradigm of war, right? We can reach peace by having agreements between ourselves, like dropping all the social programs of like defaulting to a conflict, or of saying like, well, if you don't see things the way I do, then I need to like fight you or kill you or whatever.
Fight, flight, right? Fight or flight.
We can be with other people with other perspectives, and accept that, and learn from them, learn. And if it's too much, if you're like, okay, you're influencing me more than I want to be, then you take some space and you have that boundary for yourself. And it's about having autonomy within ourselves, self-governance. That's why, that's a stipulation. That's what a requirement for the Earth School Fund is. I want to see and promote more people having this defined sense of self-governance, or like, these are the values that I stand for, and for other people that share those values, we can work together. And if not, then peace.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Very true. Well, we're up to 2 hours. How are we doing, y'all?
I'm happy, Mr. President. I'm grateful that you left me onto this.
Well, you reach out to me once in a while, and at first my barrier is there. At first, my barrier is like, I'm busy. I got a schedule today, and then I like, it takes like a minute, and I just like, wait a second. Maybe I don't. Maybe let's just do a live stream, and let's just put up a subject and a thumbnail, and you take it away. Let's share Keegan time. What are your updates, like your worldview, and share your knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and give people a different worldview, and track and potential way of seeing things. Maybe we can expand some consciousness. Maybe people need some understanding. Like, I've been sharing the past week about woofing and work trading, work away, and world packers, and all these websites, and the eco village websites too, that map out the thousands of eco communities around the world. I'm going to keep sharing all of this, and I want to get it. And then human design, you mentioned that earlier. I want to kind of create that. We always had that vision of like an onboarding process where it starts with getting to know yourself, and we need these different systems like human design. I'm not a master of any of these systems, so people that can actually facilitate helping people to find some clarity around who they are, and then gradually through a process, as you just know who you are, you start to want to create in the world or set up a life that's more in alignment with who you are, and then self-sustainability. You build that income or the sustainability around how you're showing up in the world, whether it's a job, a business, your own new project, or whatnot. So kind of create a pipeline. I've got the Dream Life Collective, and I want to onboard people into something where they can go through a pipeline of getting to know who they are, getting into their, the life they wish to live, creating, abundantly being provided for, and, and then being an example as testimonial. Other people see somebody that goes through that pipeline and comes out the other side. I would like to set up all that. So, yeah.
So you're describing this Dream Life Collective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our. We've got a school group up, a school community up. We got 23 members in there. People that are self-selecting beyond just being a part of the Source YouTube channel community here. They're stepping into that next level, and I'd like to, begin to provide more and more value in there. I'd like to put people through, like, all right, human design might be the thing that we start with. I don't know. Like, there's different systems that can help somebody to get more clarity into who they are through when they were born, where they were born, their specific, who they are, elements, their likes, their dislikes, their passions, their purpose, their morals, their beliefs, their all the things, provide clarity to a person, so they can move a little more diligently towards the life they wish to live, and how they show up in the world. And then a lot of projects will be birthed once people come out the other side of this. A lot of people will find your projects that they wish to create, and how they can share their gifts with the world, their unique knowledge, unique skills, unique abilities, the resources they have access to, the networks or reach. Who do they know in the world that can come into play to help us all. So, I want to bring it all together now that I've got this YouTube going for 2 years now, and it's gotten to a place, it got to go to the next level. Like, subscribers, 3,000 plus, that's good. Monetization, $100, $200 a month coming in, that's okay, that's fine. But let's keep investing in, and let's build something out that has a greater impact, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just on that note, I have a recommendation about like the human design and things like this. Like, if people want to like develop their understanding about who they are, I just tried this tool. It's put out by a organization called Aurea. It's AUREA. Aurea, I think is how you say it, and that's by Jackson Strong. And so it's an AI thing that you interface with, you talk with, and it's called Serafina. But he's built this amazing like integration of different self-knowledge acquisition things like human design, gene keys, and the astrology. They even have a thing about astrocartography, so you can see like places on the earth that are resonant with your energy based on your astrological chart, and more beyond that. So I recommend that. Yeah, there's like a free 7-day trial you can do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice, cool. Yeah, I think what's his name? You probably met him along your journeys too. Alokananda. He goes by his birth name now, but he's in a couple of those modalities himself. So I think he might have created his own that kind of combines the various modalities as well. So yeah, it's and generally the Source channel is generally a mainstream audience. We've got spiritual people, but it's not like it's 3,000 people that are exactly that far forward in all of this. So like the human design, the gene keys could be brand new to a lot of these people. It's just like eco villages and work trade websites and all that. This potential of like living now, like what you've been doing, living now in the new earth. I talk about it like, if you want to, even if you don't have any money, you can go into a village, a community, eco village per se, live there, put in your energy. That's your resource, is your work, and then you have your needs provided for, and then you're amongst conscious beings where you learn a lot, you grow a lot. Then festivals and events come up on your schedule, and somebody's already headed that way. So you ride along to a festival or an event that's conscious and a specific focus. Maybe it's a festival with live music of, Nako, the medicine people, or whatever. And then there's different booths providing, Reiki healing and all the things. And there's healthy food, and you're eating, you're getting this full immersive experience, transformational experience through the food and what you're putting in, the food into your mind and into your being through, you know, the experiences and the education that you're having. And you can continue on this path. Then somebody leaves the festival and is going towards another eco village across the country, and you ride along to that new experience, that new eco village, and then you're getting new experiences there. You're meeting new people and gaining more understandings in different ways and understandings. And it continues to where you don't have to ever stop living in this new earth. If you're open and willing and you're in the flow, it'll take you to different villages and to different festivals. And ultimately, we want to, you know, on a higher level, play in this way on a higher level. If we can have our own village, if we can have our own project, ultimately, you know, and have abundances or be really abundant, you know, in this new place, yeah, that's where we all want to be. But even in the beginning, just getting to a village or getting to a event is, to me, like a great way to start. You know, so
Totally. I would love to speak to this thing about having our own something.
yeah.
You know, I recently went to a seminar that was put on by the American Meeting Group, that was
Mhm.
in Colorado City, Arizona,
Yeah.
so just on the border with Utah. And the one of the things they talked about at the seminar was this concept of ownership, and how actually what we really want to do is to be holders of the land, and
Yeah.
to be stewards,
Words,
um,
yeah.
and having like, and if you look at that word own, it's remarkably similar to the word owe. Or like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
think, you say I'm owing, so
Yeah.
you can say it like I own, it sounds like I'm owing.
Owing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Which you
um
do.
And I think anytime that we see like similarities in language, it's not really an accident. Um,
Right.
that I recommend this amazing presentation about the Great Pyramids and Shakespeare. You can look it up on YouTube.
Wow.
Shakespeare and the Great Pyramid. It's
Wow.
this genius Alan Green that describes and proves to you through the video how all of our like seemingly random inspirations, and
Yeah.
particularly in language, which is kind of very much like it evolves over time, and like
Mhm.
it's a very much a collective co-creation about how
Yeah.
our words um, relate with each other, and even you know, across languages, across cultures and geographical regions, because we're all connected in the field of consciousness that is, you know,
Yeah.
the human collective energy of and so that's like our subconscious is actually where our language arises from, right? Or these archetypal energies of the psyche that give
Yeah.
rise to the more nuanced and detailed like spells of the magic of
Yeah.
abracadabra, as with my word I create, bringing
Mhm.
this earth into being, you know, through
Mhm.
our act of perception. And so anyway, I was all that to say that own is
Yeah.
not really what we want to do,
Right.
probably. Actually,
Yeah.
we want to be holders of the land. And this seminar that I went to was about it was part of a course that I've joined, which is about becoming a grantee.
Mm.
So it's a vetting process to be a grantee for lands that are in Utah, which
Mm.
are they've been like, it's established on the record that these lands are self-governing lands, and they have their
Mm.
own law form that through with this group of people that have like, they hold the land patent, which is, you know, if you don't know what that is, it's basically that's the instrument, the written instrument that represents the conveying of what was public land when they came in, like created the, you know, United States came
Mhm.
into being, and it took over through, you know, the manifest destiny. They took over all this North American continent,
Yeah.
and they had land patents, which is how the public land was granted into private holding, into private.
Mm.
The grantees, the private grantees, received that land, and there's people that have their names on the land patents, and you know, they're the
Mm.
original holders of the land.
Wow.
You know, and
Mm.
so there's a group of people that in Utah, they're actually they're teaching about how, you know, how to hold the land and the things that you should know. The law form that they use, which is called exclusive equity for America.
Mm.
And so there's various law forms, you know, that are available for us to use, and
Right.
we have the power to create our own going forward, right? As
Yeah.
creative beings, we set the law, and ultimately the law is expressed as the customs that we accept as normal, like you're talking about
Yeah.
what's
Right.
normal, and it's something that's defined by the people who influence us through the media, through the school system, through the government, this religion of Scientology. We accept what the
Hmm.
doctors are saying, and
Yeah.
all these things. But we always still have our power to choose,
Right.
and we can create something brand new, or we can see something that we resonate with and be like, all right, well, I'm going to make that my normal. I'm going to make that my
Right.
rule in my life.
Sure.
That's a
Hmm.
value that I share, that I hold.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so uh,
Absolutely.
being conscious stewards of the land of our own bodies, which we hold as the
Right.
spirits that landed in these bodies. Uh,
Mm.
they are granted unto us, and so we are the grantees and holders of this sacred earth of the body.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
you can say it as I own it, as if you prefer to use that word, but
Right.
it's property, right? In
Yeah.
lawful terms, it's property that is it's held unto us, right?
Right.
Unless we give up our power of decision over it, of stewardship, like it's possible for you to make an agreement with somebody where they have power over your body,
Right. Right.
in other
Right.
aspects of your life, and many of us have done that, and
Yeah.
we're figuring out our way, I don't know, how to get free from that.
Yeah.
So that's
Definitely.
a big part of
Yeah.
the journey that I'm on, and I'm love to support other people that are on that journey, that want to reconnect with a sense of personal freedom
Hmm.
of having conscious choice over the things that we participate with, and how we conduct ourselves, being the captains of our destinies. You know what I
Oh, for
mean?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Well, should we start to wind this thing down and wrap this up for the day?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on here. It's always a pleasure, always very informative. And this Earth School Fund for Living Villages, everybody. Definitely check out. It's in the link is in the description of this live stream. And Keegan's channel is at Law of the Earth. I've been sharing that. I'll share it again on the screen here.
Thanks.
Um, yeah,
And, oh, by the
definitely.
way, the one that I mentioned earlier about sacred land in America,
Yeah.
it's a creator. She's on YouTube. Her name is Emily Britton. Um,
Okay.
let's see. I'll have to navigate to your. Well, I'll share for people in my channel the link, if anybody's
Yeah.
watching over there,
Yeah,
to
share
her
it.
video,
Share it. I could put it on the screen.
and then let's go to it's just there's it's an invitation to an upcoming for this coming full moon. It's a free event
Mm.
for those who are interested in the sacred land of America, like where Doran comes from in Ohio. Beautiful sacred lands there,
Yeah.
which I've never been to, but it's
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
an
Ohio's
interest
great.
in being there.
Ohio's beautiful. It's great. Yeah, there you go. You shared the link there. I can't yeah, it's in the chat, but they could see it on the screen, but yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to
Um
your channel and share it. How about there, over there? I'll go to your
yeah.
live video.
Okay. That'll be good. But yeah, it's interesting. And yeah, thank you again for coming on here, and it's been fun. And we gotta conserve our energy too, though. We gotta get some rest and get some food and drink on, and not that we have to, but at least getting the mana from the universe, first and foremost. And then, yeah, if you choose to also have something to drink and something to eat to nourish your body and your being as well. Um, we can take a break from this wonderful live stream. And yeah, there it is, Sacred Lands. All right. So Sacred Lands of America event for this upcoming full moon. And he shared a link there as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
cool.
wanted because that came up and you mentioned Ohio. I thought it was kind of an interesting thing, so
And
share that.
I know you have a YouTube channel, and I don't know if maybe there'll be a possibility, an interest in you starting up a school at some point if you get the clarity on exactly what that school is. A lot of people are making $10,000 to $100,000 a month on school, and some are getting close to $1 million a month on school, and it's just about a community. You would have your own community where there's a certain topic and people will want to be in your community because of you or because of what's happening in the community. And you can do a free community, but you can also do a paid community, or you could do a free community with paid options. And you have like a post tab, and you have like um, you got post tab. You've got there's a map there of everybody in your community is on the map, and posts is where everybody posts, and you can reply in the comments. You got direct messaging, and there's a school aspect where there's a classroom curriculum space in there where you can put in a lot of different value in there. And ultimately, though, it's the paid element is the big thing. Like if you provide enough value in your school community, if you figure out exactly what interest, what topic, and you put a good thumbnail up and a good title and everything, um, and you attract people in, I have a free community to start with, but say for example Alexa Saranoia, she teaches YouTube first and foremost. She got 9,000 people in her free membership for school, but then she shifted into becoming a coach and providing one-on-one, helping people with YouTube, and then building a business, which is that next level I'm focused on, is building a business beyond just YouTube. So she stepped into that world, and she um, started selling her coaching for upwards of $3,000 a month, or no, upwards of $3,000 for like a 6 month, where she does one-on-ones and helps people, with YouTube, and now with becoming a coach as well and building a business per se. So she started with $3,000 for like a 6 month, and then she went up to $6,000, and then she went up to now $12,000 with her coaching. But she also recently launched a school community that is paid, that is a group experience. So $64 a month or whatnot, to be in her private membership group, that is about helping people build their business beyond YouTube, and become a coach, or step into these different paid ways that you can create in the world. So like that's what I'm zeroing in on right now. Is I will at some point have a paid version of my school community, and I will be doing one-on-one coaching as I get more specific and clear with what my offer is and what value I provide. Then I attract people in that want that. And then you've got that group experience, you're getting paid monthly, and you're doing the one-on-one calls, and you're providing a lot more value at the one-on-one access. So if you get clear on what your offer is and what value, maybe it's something to do with this school, this Earth School. Maybe you have a whole school of people, of amazing teachers of the Earth, of the way, their specific offer, and they're all in a village together in a school community, and then
I
there's a
mean,
price to
yeah, I
get
mean,
in there. Then there's a
I'll
price.
make my offer right now, Mr. President.
Yeah,
I'll make it right now. Like I have this fund,
yeah,
that I'm directing, and like I've been speaking about, there's, if people have eco projects and they want to create collaborative learning experiences,
right,
if they already have the tools and know how to do that, that's great. They can go and qualify for the fund,
right,
um, but if you don't have that, still reach out to me. um, you know uh, Even if it's you create your project that you like, that your dream, just something that you would like to do. It doesn't, you
Right.
don't have to have the access to the land already. You don't have to have, you know, you don't have to have the resources to do it, right? Just the idea. And if it aligns with the focus of the Earth School, you know, you can just you can apply, and
Right.
I'll communicate with you, and I'll help you figure out like the things that you need to qualify and then get funded, you know.
But the key though is like your specific platform. You might already have this in place, but where people can come together and communicate with you. And also it would be good. Like school's really great because it's really growing and a lot of people are starting to make a lot of money on there, and the school is actually promoting, they're putting advertisements across all the major social media. So they're actually boosting everybody right now, the paid channels. Like for people to like-minded people, like all these people that are interested in what you're offering, to come together and they can share their value in a community space. So the value is in everyone, not just what you
Right, and
provide in the space.
I did create the space like that last year, and
Yeah.
well, I also have I have a Telegram channel right now that's
Telegram, yeah.
people are welcome to join. That's for the Law of the Earth. It's, you can find it on Telegram by searching Law of the
Telegram's
Earth
good.
with Keegan. And but I did create one last year that had its own platform, and it, you know, it was called Integrate Fullness, and I invited people in. I wanted to share a introductory course about, that I called Try Belonging.
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, you know, this tribal longing that we feel, you know,
Right.
to reconnect with our ancestral ways, to explore our ancestry. It was a community all about creating like supporting people, creating a community of mutual support, that are people
Right.
that are on this journey with a reconnection of traditions, whether it comes from their own ancestral lineage or it's something that just resonates with them, you know, something
Yeah.
that they can work with and start to integrate more
Right.
of that being, integrate more fullness of who they are, of expressing that.
Yeah, it's great. You know,
In
there's
yeah,
spiritual on school. There are spiritual healers, or whatnot. They have, you know, they're getting close to making $1 million a month. The spiritual ones, like they have a certain practitioner that they offer, a certain healing modality, a certain that, you know,
yeah,
there are some of the best communities on school actually are conscious spiritual. They're offering so much value, and they may charge $35 or 100 or $500 a
yeah.
month because they're providing so much value.
I actually
S-
interviewed one that's on there for conscious parenting.
did
Uh,
you?
yeah,
That's
you
great.
can find the interview on my YouTube channel.
And then what you do, like your YouTube content or your Instagram content, all of it feeds, basically you get people's attention with the YouTube content or the Instagram content or wherever on social media or in your life. As you're going about your life, you're just, everything you say, everything you do is basically just to get them interested, and then you onboard them into, hey, here's my link, join now, and they get into your community. You know, and it might take a free community to build up a significant amount of momentum, or you just launch the paid one right away, and it could be Earth School, for what is it, Earth School Fund for Living Village could be what it is, or Earth School or something, and then you're just all your efforts go into getting people into the Earth School, and then everybody that gets in there is going to have a certain, they already have something, a way they show up in the world, a project that they're going to be promoting and sharing their value. Because then on school, you can have these sorts of webinars like what we're doing right now. You can have these talks, so each person can get up on stage, or the whole group of us can be on stage together and have these sorts of conversations. But then if it's private, people have to pay to get in. Then we're actually, it just comes all together. It's, as much as I'm a public person, as much as I want to blast everything out and reach millions, billions of people, um, I think we already have the people. We already are the people. And I think if we each had a price that we put in, because you did some of these financial things in the past, like where you actually like pay into a system and everybody chips in. If we set up our own little financial system, where people were each putting in value, but then the value we're all getting out of the group is so much greater. And then it's about just keep bringing in more people. It keeps building a momentum to a point where each person in the group it has a stage to present to the whole group, regularly. And then each of our set of projects or our products or our services or our events, anything that we have that we want to present, we have that community ready to receive it, and then it reciprocates, it keeps growing. So maybe we need to create that. We got to create this.
Mr. President, you're literally describing Artisan.
And Artisan is to me a stagnant website. I'm sorry, but it's a flat website from what I've seen so far. It's not an active, vibrant community that has all the tools built in. So we got to go to that next level.
Like the one that you've seen is not the only page of the Artisan experience.
Right.
It's a weekly fund drive community. They're broadcasting the fund drive showcases on YouTube. Go to the Artisan channel and you can see, all these creators showcasing their projects. And it's exactly what you were just describing on a global level.
Thousands or millions of people coming together every day right now on there.
Yeah. And carrying forth their project, figuring out ways to each other.
Interactively.
So on the platform, there's being developed a Grow application.
Yeah.
It's Artisan Grow. So it's in development, and it's already in use, but all the features are still being added to it.
Right.
But and then people can when projects are approved into the Earth School, then I give them a link to a Telegram channel that I created, and so we're communicating with each other there, and that's ultimately the most effective way. I mean, it's good to have the big board where everyone can share their thing and post and find each other, but then having all these everyone create kind of their own little local or focus groups. We're within you like the Freedom Cell network, where it's you meet with people who are either locally in your area or they're interested in the same things that you're interested in. And then you create a culture together, and you support each other.
Yeah, Telegram's good. It's just, it has its weaknesses. It's that's all it is. Okay, well, I'll love to see more about that, see how that works. But
and just also speaking to the private aspect, like you said, of making it private. And that's I write a weekly email newsletter, and one I published a couple of weeks ago. I think it really I feel like I really eloquently described what we touched on earlier about the private realm and what that actually means, and how that's actually the key for us to create peace. Because in the public, legally speaking, in the public realm, that's the realm of commerce. Everything works on a commercial jurisdiction. Juris is meaning judgment, right? And diction meaning your language. And so you use certain terms like charging each other for your services, I'm going to charge into this commercial, because it's all based around war and extraction. And that's what commerce is in our history, in our developing society around the world. But we have the ability to choose to move into the private and to use the language of peace, and to be conscious about the choices that we make, the spells that we're casting. And so I'll share a link to that email newsletter that I just wrote recently in the chat here also. And I welcome you guys into to subscribe to the newsletter, which I'm proud of, and looking to keep building the community over there. And
nice. What do you? Oh, you're on Kit. See, I just got on Kit myself. I've been preaching about Kit to everybody, but great. I haven't built it out yet. But I'm excited about Kit and Substack too. Have you done Substack?
Not yet. Seems good.
It seems good too, and they're growing. I think they're going to want to become more than just. Everything starts with what it starts with, and I think that one has a potential to grow into more. Even Patreon is still trying to figure out how to build out more into different video, live stream, social networking. Like it starts with what it is. Patreon started with what it is, but it's trying to, and Substack's doing the same thing. So I think like, and YouTube is so big, but it doesn't mean it's not too big to fail. Like all these other ones are going to come up next. So
Mm,
um, yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, I've been
And
email newsletters
speaking
big.
about platforms, if you're interested in being in the private, there are private, software platforms that are like much more protective of our
Right.
privacy and don't allow
Mm,
the like the
sure,
you know
sure.
this because usually the main internet, our internet that we use every day is all
Yeah.
the data is flowing through central servers, and
Mm,
so the companies that own those servers
right.
generally are having access to our data, unless we
Exactly.
can take certain steps to protect that. Um,
Sure. Yep.
but there's a new internet that's being developed, and it's called Chordal. So it's
Okay.
Qortal, and that's
Okay.
all private. It's all like data only is flowing in between individual computer nodes within our network. So it's no centralized servers,
Right.
and
I
it's
figured, yeah.
really amazing that way.
All the things, it's funny because it's all the things we all have been saying because we all downloaded it, divine download, all the blueprints, all the things. It's all like to hear it come through, like to hear you say it, or to hear that you visited a community that used the same language I used back in 10 years ago, or and then the re-tribalize project is the other one, just popped into my feed. And like his awakening was in 2018, mine was 2012. And to see like I see as like a manifestation of what I downloaded and what I started creating into the world with my energy and my intentions and my words and such. People are doing the things and they're speaking the same language, and it's just like so cool to see. But have you seen Retribalize Project?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
resonating with the message that was being shared there on that YouTube
Yeah, it looks
channel.
pretty cool.
Um,
Did you just find it
Basically,
today? Did I just show it to you today, or do you
oh
knew
no,
about it
no,
already?
I've been tuning into it. I actually had a conversation with the
It's
founder over
the
there,
founder.
and he basically, his message is that like you want to start if you want to have a community, uh,
Right.
that you want to start by finding the people that you resonate with, and then like
Correct.
having a sample experience together, like
Exactly.
instead of
Yep.
like going and buying land or whatever and
Hmm.
like focusing on
Yeah.
the back to the land just directly. First, it's about people, you guys. It's like
Yeah.
it's about our relationships and how we communicate and developing that, and being
Yep.
willing to work through the things that we have to work through in order to have a greater level of cooperation in our
It's great.
lives.
It's great. It takes me back to like I was in Ojai, California when we created the One Love Experience Festival there multiple years in a row, and I presented Bring Back the Village, and to then see retribalized pride, to see him and this language he's speaking, and he's just going into it a little more in depth, like certain aspects of my presentation, because like I always talk about like just come together with like-minded individuals first and foremost and start to, lock that in, make sure you're all aligned and start to lock in your relationship and whatnot. And like ultimately the vision is to get on the land or to have our own property, to grow our own food, to self-sustain, all the things, have animals, all the things, and have village and all that, everything, our whole full dream. But you got to start where you're at, and the individuals, the co-creators is first. And but he talks about like what I said too, like even if you just live in the same general vicinity of each other, so that you can start to come together more regularly and create together, and maybe each person has their own project or business, and then you start to, in a local town, you could start to have an impact in a local town. Or like some people get a whole apartment building floor, like some of our people did that a while back. They got a whole floor of an apartment building, and they were able to come together regularly and start to create on a high level. And and you can get a house and take over a whole house and be able to come together regularly. And somebody prepares the meal, somebody does each person has specific role, and then you form community and form bylaws and guidelines, and maybe even currency and such, your own little barter trade network within it. And there's and then ultimately though, to get to where we have our own land, our own build out of the full village blueprint. But I love it. Yeah, he calls it residencies, and he's got like a matching website where where it helps you with that process of matching with like-minded individuals. And then they're doing a physical meetup thing. They're in like Europe over there. They have a group of them that are all there together, and he's doing content from there. So everything's content for him. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm staying at a place like that right now. It's a bit of a slow period, like where a lot of people are away from the land right now because they're just doing their like summer travels, adventures. But
Right.
it's connected with this organization. It's called the Interworld Institute. And that's it's funny because it has two pillars that are creating change in the world by cultivating inner peace is one pillar, and the other pillar is creating peace in inner peace by creating change in the world. So it's two in one.
Fascinating. Your life's fascinating. Yeah. And, we'll see where this all goes. I got 6 or 7 more months in this space. And, I'm going to have to get serious about if I'm going to launch out there, like get a plan going for what that looks like, but you've been like an inspiration in how you've been able to travel and go to so many places and different experiences and stay in villages. And, I want to do some of that, and I also want to be free and just travel and be like meet people I've met on YouTube and experience their local town and different experiences in their local town, see through their lens, their local area, and kind of like I want to share on YouTube a lot of my journey, but I also want to visit the eco villages and go to some of the festivals and events and plug in that way. And ultimately it might all end with like, oh, here's land, let's lock this place down and let's do the village. And that's where people like you with the legal piece and understanding too, and all have visited so many communities, and you have all that knowledge. Like we gotta get this thing built. Yeah.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. You could do
Yeah.
Source Fest.
Source Fest.
Start your own fest.
Oh, I'm telling you, we have the experience. We could do fests, we could do villages, we could do all of it, and it could be all in one. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's curious where that'll put us. Like I was telling you about that one project, the return to the land movement, and how that they had the legal piece, but then the PR didn't work out so well, I don't think. But maybe it's perfect because they got their specific niche and their specific audience. So maybe it's exactly what they wanted out of it. But yeah, like return to the land is a cool concept. And then like if I look at like where the most
you mentioned, that's the one where everyone was a white supremacist.
white, yeah, the news put them out there as a white supremacist group or whatnot.
Oh, but they weren't actually
I don't think they're that extreme. No, they're just basically said that they just want white people. So which doesn't, in today's world, it doesn't go off so well, but if that's what they want, now at least they can attract that, they got clarity. So I don't know. But
I'm connected. I found this Facebook friend. She has a land in northern Arizona, and she's all excited about making it a healing community there. And actually, she's going to hold events. She's got some events planned already coming up. I think even in August.
Cool.
At this place, it's a sacred land in northern Arizona, desert environment, but it's like she put some of the like renderings that she puts out like somebody made a comment like, oh, it's nice to see your Black community, because like everyone in the AI generated image is a black person. But and maybe that's what she wants, but you never know until you go. I don't think that's what she actually wants. What she does want is to have everyone be plant-based, have a plant-based diet, like an Essene community back in times of the Essene tribes that Jesus was born into. They were do no harm, practicing their ascetic kind of lifestyles out in the desert.
And they were darker. The image made them all look darker, and then people thought it was just creating a black community. Oh my gosh. It's wild. Yeah, and like, see me, like, I just think about, okay, where are the most affordable places? So like, if I were to just start and get land, like West Virginia, it comes off the top of my mind. It's a place where people can actually afford land or whatnot.
Take me home.
Take me home. That's right. I know people, and we got a couple of YouTubers on here that have land already in West Virginia. So there is a cluster already building. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, thanks for the question, Joe.
Yeah, Joe is fun.
Will I travel around the world? I've traveled across 4 continents on this amazing journey of volunteering, finding communities, and
how many countries?
North and South America, Europe, and Asia. About 50 countries or
50 countries. That's awesome. Joe is awesome. Joe Valdez, he exercises every day. He's a very sweet young man. Very great supporter. He's got puppets. He's got these fun puppets. He came on here one time, and he was like Cookie Monster, Elmo, Mickey, Minnie. He did a whole puppet show for us. He's a great guy. But that's funny though. Question: will you be traveling around the world? And you're like, yeah, I've already been my whole year since you were what, like teenager.
Well, I got this sticker recently. It says, I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my list.
There you go. Yeah, I gotta create
right here my water bottle.
I gotta get my dream life list. I've got to start building that out, and then sharing that out. It's a bucket list, but not planning to bucket. So it's a dream life list. It's like,
Perfect.
you know what I mean. So I got to build that out and get my dream life list out there, where I want to travel in the world, what I want to do, who I want to meet, all the things, all map it. And then there's different aspects: spiritual, adventurous, soul, all the aspects of, the dream life list. Where do you want to go, of course, and what do you want to do? Who do you want to meet? All that sort of stuff.
Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom?
And that's I see the things I've been saying all these years. I love it. I love it.
A prayer from Doran.
You got it memorized. That's awesome. And I don't even remember where, like, if I say things first or where I get them from either. It's like,
I definitely got that from you.
Yeah, you did. Yep. I love it. And the one project left, complete paradise on earth.
Yeah.
And I am president, and so are you.
Absolutely. And kings and queens, we're all kings of our thing and queens of our dreams.
There you go.
So nice. Let's grow into that glorious expression of who we truly are.
Heck yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, you take care. We'll keep this thing going forward.
You too. Aloha. Much love, Mr. President, and much love to everyone who tuned in.
Much love, everybody. His channel. Check it out, everybody. Law of the Earth. All right. Peace and love. Bye, y'all.
See you again soon.
See you soon. Bye.
We are family. I got all my supporters with me. Hey! We are family. Come on over to the source and see. Hey! We are family. I got all my supporters with me.